right, what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Hey, money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
We are mediocre, and all mediocre people can do is get drunk and forget.
Hey, bro, come on, let's get drunk.
I get drunk. Real drunk.
I want to get drunk.
I mean, sure, when you get drunk, you're awful disgusting. You smell, too.
Drunk and stay drunk.
Let's get drunk and pass out.
Did you get drunk, dance in your underwear and sing sea shanties?
I got a hell of a good idea. Let's get drunk.
All we want is to pass out and get drunk. Have a little peace.
So, we get drunk, and we're left like hell, and then we die. And the pipe dream vanish.
They deserve to unwind and get drunk.
We have to get drunk immediately.
You gonna get drunk tonight, Daddy?
Damn.
Well, I say we get drunk because I'm all out of ideas.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, whoever you're doing it to, whoever's watching, and however good it feels. Welcome to Legal Advice. It is Friday. We are 1 week away from F-It Friday, from the June F-It Friday stream. Make sure you mark next Friday on your calendar. You will not want to miss next Friday. If you don't know what F-It Friday is, it is an absolute awesome opportunity where I just grift for money. That's the one day a month I do nothing but grift as hard as possible to liberate as much of your money as possible from your pockets into my bank account. We do it all in good fun. It's just so I don't have to ramble about it for the rest of the month. But it's a fun time. We have a huge panel of guests. We just talk about anything. Liquor flows freely. It's essentially a money for shot scheme. We calls them as we sees them. We know what they are. And if the quality of the program is any indication, last month's F-It Friday is the only video in the history of my YouTube career that I have removed voluntarily from the stream. That's how good F-It Friday is. Stay tuned for more details. We'll be bringing them up as we come up the next week. And we'll put the like and subscribe poll up in a minute. But in the meantime, just remember to like and subscribe. And of course, it is the beginning of the show. That can mean only one thing: the cocktail of the day. For the past 2 days, we've done the Lime Ricky, the Gin Ricky, and today's cocktail is the Vodka Ricky, brought to you by Ukrainian Vodka Nemirov, one of the finest vodkas you will ever have. As always, you want to get ice in a glass. It's kind of melted a little bit. Oh, that was great. Splashed on my glasses. We're up to a super good start. Awesome. You can put some sugar or some syrup in there if you want. I don't do it. I just like the taste. You want to put in the lime juice from one fresh squeezed lime. And on top of that, add a good 3 or 4 ounces of a good quality vodka. I hate when they put these speed pours on there so you can't pour your vodka too quickly. Oh, it's almost like you might want to drink a lot. All right. There we go. We'll just do 3. We'll do 3 of these today. And then what you're going to do is you're going to top it off with some soda water, which I didn't bring. So fuck it. I'm just going to drink vodka and lime. Woo, Lime Ricky. But like the Vodka Ricky should have soda water in there and a lime wedge. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, hell. We're off to a shitty start. It's already gone off the rails. What could be worse? We may as well just bring potentially criminal Sean up right now. That was probably the 3rd worst start I've ever had. That was great.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good morning. Oh, hell. Excuse
Hello,
me
everybody.
while I remove the vodka from my glass. I'm sorry, this isn't vodka. It's just melted water. All right. You have joined us nice and bright and early in your neck of the woods. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't have anything scheduled for today, so I got to wake up at the crack at 8:30. It was great.
And speaking of Ukraine and Nemirov vodka, it seems like we've had a little bit of action in Call of Duty land today.
Yeah, there was. Holy shit.
Let's set the background to this. While I go get my soda water, why don't you tell everybody what you were talking about this morning? Prophetic one.
Oh,
turn.
So I hope the Ukrainians are able to push the Russians out of Ukraine, and I hope the countryside's littered with burning Russian tanks. But in reality, we are watching the crocodile on Discovery Channel eat a gazelle. And as much as you like the gazelle to win, we know it's not. So I just merely pointed out the reality of this isn't going to turn out the way we think it will. And despite what everybody who thinks it's turned the war of the Redditification of war has believed, your memes are not going to save it. You screaming that Putler, the war is lost, Russia is bad, isn't going to fix it. This is just going to end. Well, the Ukrainians took all the brand new tanks we gave them, and they got thrashed. And there's a big pile of them. And it looks like
how badly did they get thrashed?
It looks like thrashed. It looks like from Squad. It looks like Squad. Wait,
where'd we go? Hey, never mind. That's not the one we want. Go away.
No, it's in your private chat.
Yeah, I thought that was it, but it's not.
No. Yeah, guys, if you play Squad, it looks like the Battlefield out of Squad. Yeah, it should be in private chat. It's like the top that tweet. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, you click on that picture.
Yeah, and that
thing is, there are dead guys involved in that, but holy cow, I have never seen Western military vehicles set on fire like that.
That was either sort of firestorm or just a massive piece of artillery that went on, and they're torched.
Well, no, a couple of them look like they're still recoverable. So, yeah.
Well,
so yep, there goes all our military. No, that one's not. Yeah,
this one's not. The one on the bottom left isn't going anywhere either. Like maybe the one in the middle. That's about it.
Yeah, and gets us crawling all over those eventually. A bunch of Russian people and a bunch of Chinese people. So I'm glad we gave away the store for this. So
that's how we start our day, which is unfortunate because it's things like that cast a pall over my friendships. The vast majority of my friends here in Korea are from that neck of the woods. My two best friends, they're boyfriend, girlfriend. He's Russian, she's Ukrainian. It's just been really awkward hanging out with them for the last year period because you literally can't talk about anything. But yeah. And then when you're with the Ukrainians, you have to go, yay, Ukraine. When you're with the Russians, you have to go, yay, Russia.
Yeah. That's not all the tanks, no. And somebody else said, yeah, you shouldn't park all your tanks close together like that.
Wise words.
That's a very good idea.
Okay, well, we are just starting, and this is part of the 1-year anniversary tour for me, inviting people on, having sit-downs, talking about stuff with people that I like and that I hope like me, but because people are here, I assume they like me. But people that I've had fun with, people that have contributed to my channel, people that I literally enjoy hanging out with and watching on my own time. That's why you're here. Oh, wise one.
Thank you. I'm not sure anybody's called me wise, but I'll take it.
Yeah, taking what they're given because we're working for a living. So, Sean, how long you been doing this YouTube thing?
I've been doing it since I did it. I was trying to get started during Kyle Rittenhouse, and for some reason I was like, oh, let's do it in my basement. So I was like hanging, people like, you're pretty little fat hanging. I was actually hanging drywall. Get experience doing that. I was like getting ready for it, and then I realized I'd have to like make a bunch of more walls, and I'm like, well, this isn't gonna work and get it done in time. So I started I walked into our spare bedroom, and I'm like, I could turn this into a studio. And then I was like, how hard can it be to actually make a studio? Well, it takes a little more planning than you think it does.
Yeah.
Like you have to do like, cause I started, I'm like, it's echoed and it sounded like shit. And the lighting was awful. And I'm like, So by the time I got done, Kyle Rittenhouse was over, and I'm like, well, there that goes. So I started pretty much right after that in December. It's like almost a year and a half ago now. So yeah, and then I was kind of wandering around on my own until about April, and that's when I ran into everybody else. So yeah, that's a short story from there.
Well, in that year, what is the biggest mistake you've made?
Biggest mistake.
Yeah. In all of Shondom, what is the biggest mistake that potentially criminal has made?
Well, in like real
YouTube?
life. Oh, YouTube mistake.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can YouTube mistake.
Okay, I can identify that because I make a lot of big mistakes in real life. I don't know. I think probably my biggest one is it's not a big mistake, but it's just I wasn't able to capitalize on it. Was the Darrell Brooks trial, and I on Columbus Day I had over 10,000 people watching over the course of the day. And then, like, that was one of the most massive days I ever did. And then I had to go. It wasn't a mistake, but it was a shortcoming that I had to go to court the next day, and I couldn't get out of it. And then I had to go, and I came back on the day afterwards, and I only had like 500 people. And I was like, "Fuck!" And it's like I just, missing out on some of those opportunities like that. I'd say probably I've had that happen a couple of times, mistake wise.
That was probably one of the better things that ever happened to me was Brooks.
Brooks was still good for me, but. Like I
was just fucking around in Nick's locals, and Nick made one of these. Oh, I can't be there for the next day or two announcement.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, "Well, are you going to do it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And just for that one trial, just for the month of October, I got just the slightest whiff of what it might feel like to be like a few levels below Ricada.
Oh, that Monday, Columbus Day, holy shit! Like my chat was going so fast, I could barely even read the super chats, and I'm like, "Holy shit! This is like." I'm like, this is what it must feel like to be like Emily Baker. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Well, see, if you're Emily Baker, or even Ricada level, you have someone else reading the super chats for you.
Well, yeah,
but now StreamYard does this cool thing where they organize them for you. You don't have to.
Yeah, it catches them. Yeah. And hold on, it's like, oh, hey, hold on. Here. I'm gonna take something from you, Jeff, because I don't charge for the dog, so I don't charge for the dog view.
No, I don't charge
the people. No,
that's the biggest mistake that people make about me. I don't charge for the dog. It's just an achievement unlocked thing.
Yes.
The dog isn't behind a paywall. It's just an achievement unlocked.
Yes.
And speaking of unlocked achievements, let's see how close we are here. Bella Stella, hey, welcome, Bella Stella. Great to see you here. Hey, Jeff, happy Friday, and hit the like button, y'all. Thank you so much. Unhung Hero, bring in the $2 in honor of Sean being here. I'm gonna come. Oh, yeah, but you don't feel that way about me. Oh well. Trent Thoreau, bring in the $20. Ooh, you are the Vice Racks of the day so far. We'll have to set up your little Vice Racks of the day banner because, hey, that's my newest grift. Trent Thoreau, thank you so much. Just want to say thanks, Jeff, for all the streaming lately. No hate to Nick, but with him being MIA, streaming trials for a while, your streaming all these trials lately has been great entertainment during work. Well, thanks. And there's a new one starting on Monday that we're going to talk about in just a minute. Serenity II, which is bringing the $1. What was the $1? It was a $1. It was just $1. All right, cool. No sticker attached, no message attached. Thank you so much. And Unhung Hero again, Sean's mistakes. Having a Discord. That's okay. Discord. Muting himself for half a stream more than once. That just happens. Not streaming more often. That is a mistake. We need more potentially criminals. But I'm always happy when I catch one live.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I wish I envy how you have that set up where you can you go to work and you can come back and it's starting. The day's starting.
It's called freedom, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But God bless you because you have an eternal companion.
Yeah.
I got dogs and degenerates in chat. They're my only friends.
Yeah,
but
no,
single life does make it more easy. It makes it more me speak good Englishy more easy. It makes it easier to stay awake at night. I don't have to get permission to make a lot of noise at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the people upstairs, if they don't like it, fuck it. I don't care.
Oh wait, somebody's right. Yes, when I took a nap midstream, that was kind of a.
Oh, who hasn't done that?
Yeah, except I'd been. Oh god, that was such a rough day. So I'd been on with Nick and I'd been up all night, and then all of a sudden, I was in the middle of it.
Those aren't really mistakes. Those are events. Those are stories.
Yeah,
those
I know, but they thought I was dead for a minute because I was just like,
yeah, I remember the stream.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I remember that.
Oh,
and then like Meme Copium, I've got a few. Can you do a wellness check on him? I was like, if he's that drunk, he's not going to be looking at my fucking texts.
No.
What do you think I'm going to do? He's in another country. I mean, granted, we're closer than you, but it still takes a day to get there.
Yeah.
Adam Way then says, where is Nick anyway? He's enjoying a fine vacation with his lovely family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe he'll never come back. Who knows? But it's up. He's just unplugged, which is a good thing. When Ralph said, "Do you wear the shirt? Have you beat the game yet, Jeff?" Well, this is my shirt from way back in the original Dark Souls days. If you're talking about Elden Ring, I'm still slogging through it. 211 hours at this point. 100. It hasn't been 200 hours, has it? Holy shit! Yeah, it's been 211 hours so far. God dang. Probably 80% through the game. We'll just have, I just need more time because I'm busy talking to you people. I don't have time to sit around and jerk off on my PlayStation all day. Anyway, that took a wide turn to the left there. Okay, well now the reason that we like Sean is Sean is sort of like unplugged. He's like everybody unplugged. He's the person we wish we had the balls to be. So in all of this sea of wrongs you've done, what was the one thing that the number one thing that you've done right on YouTube?
I think the one thing I did right is just doing it. I mean, for me, really, that's been the biggest thing. Because for the longest time, and I kind of joke when either I talk with clients and they say like they like I had a lady in my office yesterday and she swore. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, no, it's okay. You can do that here. I do it all the time because I don't get to do it in court. And you got to be nice in court. You got to do everything a certain way. It's got to be, poised and measured. So I get it out wherever I can. And when, I've been around people like I always, there are, people who are mechanics. The last thing, they want to do when they get home is go wrench on their own stuff or go wrench on their buddy's stuff. Yeah. Or, people who do, if you're in the trades. Well, my trade is talking about the law, and not a lot. There's attorneys out there who hate doing that. Like when they're off the clock, they're off the clock, and you don't want to pass terms. Like I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy talking about what I do. It's always been fun for me. And I was like, always, I kept on saying like, "Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it." Like I watched Viva Fry for the longest time, and I'm like, I could do that. I'm very much.
I can't do that. That's why I don't watch him because I can't do that.
Well, it's not exactly like him, but I always watched it like, it's like watching Top Gear. It's like, well, how hard could it be? Because that's like it's the way I was kind of raised. Like my dad.
I will admit, Viva's smarter than me.
Oh well, yeah. I'll admit that. I'm a flat out retard. So I'm never gonna. I'll never claim to be smart. I'm not even by far one of the smartest people in my life. I can assure the world of that.
I'm probably the smartest guy in the room here.
Yeah.
Like in the immediate room. Since I've got one dog. The other one, I know I'm smarter than Yoda. It's debatable whether I'm smarter than Strawberry or not.
Okay, well, that dog that was just on is back in here, so I'm not the smartest person anymore. But no, my dad, like when I was growing up as a kid, I used to remember he used to watch there was a show on PBS called the New Yankee Workshop. This guy did all kinds of woodworking. My dad was like, that sounds kind of neat. So he started getting stuff together and started learning how to do it. And he made
he's made that show for like 40 years.
Well, my dad, learned how to do it, and he made like my mom some beautiful things. He made her like this beautiful cherry armoire and different things like that over the years. Well, and then we got older. My dad, we were golfing all the time, and like we started golfing a lot as little kids. It's like, I want to build a putting green. So we, saved up the money, got to play with the skid steer and like built it up, like using the gravel and doing the drainage and putting it all together, doing it like it's not that hard. And when you have like two, 11 and 12-year-old kids, you get like free mowing assistance for the summer. And you got to mow it in the morning, got to mow it at night. And when you have a handheld or hand pushed green mower.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And then your dad yells at you anyway, and God damn it, I got to go out there and do it again because you didn't. Do it right.
Oh no! We learned how to do it right, and that was it. But no,
my dad was always nobody can do it as good as him.
Oh well,
and he just does it so he can yell at you and make you feel like shit, and then he would go out there and mow it again, and somehow that would make you feel worse because he was doing it and wouldn't let you try it again.
Oh no! For my dad, it was good enough for government work, so. He worked for the FAA, so it works out that way. But no, we would get it, and we were pretty good about it. So we could walk in straight lines. But God, those little green mowers, when you push them, are fucking heavy. We had to do it forever. We had to do it forever.
Well, they also, I mean, they had the solid rubber tires and essentially like 8 scythes going around. Oh my god.
Yeah, and you have the bag, and you have to empty the bag out halfway through, and it's just. So yeah, it was a lot of but that's it. It was, learned how to do that. So it's like I watched him. I watched Steve Lato every once in a while.
Well, it would be it would be Bob Ross, the furniture guy, and then the Cajun chef guy, the old Cajun chef.
Oh yeah, Guarantee.
Yeah, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So, but going back for me though, like I'd watched Steve Lato a couple of times, and my dad really liked him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you could do it like him," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what, I could do this," and well, then I did what I kind of do a lot of times. I fuck around and kind of get procrastinate. So, which if you guys didn't know this, lawyers are like some of the most procrastinating people in the world. Even like the most like go get them lawyers. We are really bad procrastinators. That's a secret.
I mean, even procrastinators look at me and go, "Dude, what's wrong with you?"
So
that's how bad I am.
Yeah. So I got, I started doing it, and I've when I first started doing it, it was just weird having a couple of people watch. And after a while, I mean, and when I first started doing the Thursdays, I've done a Thursday every week since I've been I'm 65 weeks in doing it every Thursday. The only time I didn't do one was when I got copy struck by a long cuck, which I still won't forgive them for.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing. I figured when I start, I got to start hard. I got to go hard.
Yeah.
And I committed to doing a stream at least 5 days a week for the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the first year is gone, I feel weirdly obligated. Like I feel like I'm letting everybody down. And if I decide to like, take a night off, I'm like, oh my God, what if nobody ever comes back? What
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to me at first when I got copy struck. Because at that point early on, I was hitting it really hard. I was every chance I had a free second in my office, I was streaming through. And then I had this whole week of like nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is relaxing. And then I kind of realized I need to chill it out a little bit. And that's when I realized I need to start scheduling trials into my calendar. So like I've tried to schedule, like Sarah Boone kind of backfired on me because I got a trial scheduled during her trial because I couldn't get around it.
But do you think this? I think it's going to get delayed again.
It might. We'll talk about that. But yeah, it's funny because I've got a calendar in the office that in my office that I'm in. I rent an office from a guy. His secretary every once in a while, if somebody calls for me, she doesn't like, they don't do all my work, but like if somebody calls there, she'll, say, hey, so-and-so's coming in or whatever. And they have my calendar just so they know where I'm at. Yeah. But it's funny because she's like, who the hell are all these trials you have set up? And I'm like, oh, those aren't real trials. Those aren't real trials. I don't have that many trials. I'm like, I've got things set up because I've been in court before at this point now. And it's like, Mr. Martin, can you be here this day? Your Honor, I've got a personal obligation that day. Can we set a trial this week? No, Your Honor, I'm booked already. It's like trying to set things out, but like every trials I wanted to cover have all fallen through. But yeah, it's when you start doing this, it's even Thursdays. For a while there, when I first started doing it, I'm like, this is kind of a slog. But now I've got it in my calendar. It's always there. Every Thursday, I know what I'm doing. And it's actually kind of it's refreshing to have that rhythm going.
Yeah.
But
for me, the trials are the hardest because they go live exhausting. Real time from usually about 10 p.m. my time until 6 a.m. And I don't have time to sleep. And well, I just did this Travis Rudolph trial last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that damn near killed me when I mean it was the last 2 days were absolutely devastating to me. I've just been a wreck for the last 3 days trying and now I'm just right about to be 80%. I'm ready to go for a new trial on Monday. Speaking of new trials, we got a few super chats to go through. Saul on the Lich. Nick was kidnapped by the melon humping Monty.
Oh no.
Let's go, Brandon. Woodworking is fantastic, but isn't laying pipe more rewarding? Well, it's more rewarding for me, and I don't care if it's rewarding for the a person. Well, see, that's it. But that's a fallacy. That's a phallus.
It's like Shawshank. It's not about love. It's about power.
Yeah, that's a logical phallus. of course, the other person, because, you know, if they're not satisfied, they ain't coming back. I think anything worth doing once is worth doing as many times as she'll let you. Flux, work emergency, right when you start, Mocha Dick Poon, etc., etc. Sean is awesome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Flux. Good to see you here. Unhung Hero, bringing some more heat. Sarah Boone has more initiative than most lawyers. Well, she's certainly communicated with the judge more often than the average guy has.
Yeah.
And also we had Let's Go Brandon is the new Vice Racks, but then a suspicious looking Jeff's first beer with $1 more than Let's Go Brandon came in. Cough, cough. I'll bid against myself to free the hounds. We're $10 away from freeing the hound. So let's see here. I'll update that in just a damn minute.
Yeah. But no,
where do we start? Yeah, go ahead.
I will tell you though, when the thing is, I know you're exhausted from watching trials because you do it all day, then you got to go back to work, but just watching them, like here in America, you know, in God's time zone, the Eastern time zone, when a lot of these start.
And who the fuck designated Eastern Standard Time as the law tube like time? Why can't we just like use like Zulu? Well, Zulu time isn't a thing, but UTC. Why did we decide that Eastern Time US is the global standard for law tube start times?
Because it is.
Okay.
Because
I'm granted there's nobody that lives in the mountain time zone, so that's out.
It's like Homer says, the lousy farmers. He's like lousy farmers not when to burn coal.
Bella Stella says free the hounds. All right.
Release the hounds.
We'll bring them up here. Well, Yoda's already fucked off to go to sleep because I took the dogs to work today because it was cleaning lady day in the house. So I took the dogs to work and they didn't sleep much. So they're pretty tired. Like you could never tell because they sleep anyway. But when Yoda gets really tired, Yoda goes and sleeps on the sofa. Yoda's already fucked off to the sofa. So it's strawberry cam here.
Does everybody come into your office and see your dogs, or does nobody care?
Yeah, they love the dogs.
I was gonna say, I assume, especially in Korea, since it's not like, well, if you did it here in America, I'd be like, oh, you got your puppies, but in Korea, everybody's like, well, not everybody has dogs, so it's even more.
Well, yeah, it's more that way. Plus, nobody has English bulldogs, and they got the big squishy faces, and so they like to come and like squish the faces and things. But
I figure they grab they grab the meat scale and they hold your dogs up by it. But like, I'll go per pound.
There actually isn't a lot of meat. There's a lot of fat on strawberry.
That's good.
They both weigh the same. Like Yoda is 23 kilograms, so like 50 pounds, and strawberry is like 50 pounds. But she's probably 40 pounds of fat, and he's probably 3 pounds of fat. They're just like totally different physiques. They weigh the same, but
sausage time with them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna even it out, but
just use one to season the wok with, and then fry up.
But I was gonna say though, when I do trials, holy cow, it is tiring just doing them sitting here 9 to 5, and that's because I'm sitting there listening. I'm actually paying attention. It's a story I don't know.
That's your problem. You're paying attention to the trial.
Oh, I do. I can't. I'm autistic like that. I'm actually paying attention to the trial. I have a whole Word file now, a Word document of notes I've taken, and when I hear people like, opening arguments, closing arguments, zingers, and like not just zingers, but like tactics used in trial. I've been keeping track. I've been taking notes, and I've used some things here and there. Sometimes successfully, sometimes not, in my own practice. So yeah, it's also hard for me not to watch because I like to watch, but I mean, this has helped me because when I first started practicing, I was in a mentoring program, and my mentor said, it's if you want a good idea and you get the chance and the time, especially when you're in beginning, because you have lots of free time because you don't have business yet, go try to watch a trial at least once a month. And she said, whatever you do, don't go watch a civil trial because you're going to want to kill yourself.
True.
Well, and I didn't know that, so I went to watch a civil trial, and I was there for about 20 minutes, and I wanted to kill myself. It was the worst thing in the world. Oh my God! It was these two people were at McDonald's, and this little old lady had rear-ended a car.
Ooh, saucy.
and the lady in the
Our
front of
anal
it
is the best anal.
Yeah. And the lady was sitting there and she's like, I've lost my, basically he was like, I hurt my neck and I lost my joie de vivre. And, and her attorney was like, well, what did you used to do before? And she's like, well, I used to sing opera. And she's like, well, can you do some for us? So this lady's trying to do her opera singing and it's just fucking awful. And I'm like, oh God, it was so bad. And then these guys, and the thing is, civil attorneys, they don't go to trial often. So like they had one of those like foam poster board things where they were putting things up and the lady was identifying them. But you could see that they had used this in a previous trial, or it was like the one they used all the time. So when they had got done, they ripped off the paper, but you could see like the little strips of like they hadn't cleaned their stuff up. It wasn't nice or presentable. And it was just like it was like watching law students go to trial.
Oh no.
And I because I saw the judge before it started and I was like, can I sit in? And the judge was like, yeah, sure. I left after 20 minutes and I saw the judge like 2 days later after the trial ended. And I said, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I couldn't sit. She's like, no, she's like, I wouldn't sit through it either if I didn't have to. She's like, I wish there was a fire alarm I could have pulled. But no, I sit through trials otherwise, but long crime allows me to kind of like watch things and, kind of not have to go places, which is nice. And I recommend people go see these in your real world. Go find your local courthouse and go watch something in real life.
Right. That's a good suggestion.
It's an entirely different thing when you actually see it in person. Take notes and then try to go back through them and
And if it happens to be a good trial, then you can actually auction off your notes on eBay for a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah. And I got to slow down. I feel like I'm talking too much anyway. So
no, that's the point. Good. I don't have to. That's why we brought you on here. We put up the like and subscribe poll for those of you that are here. We currently have 527 of you watching Potentially Criminal Sean. He's the only reason there's so many of you here. He is the absolute. I love having Sean on because I don't have to worry about what the guest is thinking. I don't have to worry about their sensibilities. We can just sit around and just fuck around and just pull out all stops and talk about things that other people are too afraid to talk about. And so the 532 of you that are here, reach on over there and smash that like button. If you're subscribed, please just double check to make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube has some serious YouTube fuckery when it comes to subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, I just hope you would find this somehow worthy of you reaching down there with your fat, moist fingers and just clicking the subscribe button. And while you're at it, go to Potentially Criminal. Your fingers are too fat for a dialing wand. Mash the keyboard now.
I resemble that story.
And make sure you like and subscribe. First of all, subscribe to Potentially Criminal Sean. Then just like every single video he's ever done because he deserves it. And then come over here. No, well, you do. We're kind of like spirit animals. I don't know if you would accept that, but we kind of are. And like you're the person that I want to be because I say this shit on a lot of problem I guess with my chat is because I was sort of like Nick sort of gave birth to me. My origin story is Legal Mindset Andrew somehow just we got drunk one day in Seoul. He's like, no, you need this YouTube thing. It's really good. I'm like, yeah, no. He's like, yeah. No, people want to hear you. I'm like, no, they don't. And the next time we got drunk, he's like, no, really? This Johnny Depp thing is awesome. You should just do it. You got funny stories. Okay, sounds good to me. And then I got $5,000 worth of computer equipment on order. And like 3 or 4 days after I went live, somehow Nick had an off day and Andrew said, hey, why don't you invite this guy on? So Nick invited me on like 3 days into YouTube and he kind of gave birth to me. So like everybody sort of assumes that, my chat is Nick's chat. Nick's got like 250,000 people.
Yes.
Or more, he's got more than 250,000 people.
275,000 people.
Yeah. He's like pushing 500,000. He can get away with a lot more shit than I can get away with.
Yep.
And so I'm still you just I have very few. I have 3 rules. I only have 3 rules. But I can't do what I want. And I'm always kind of nervous of just crossing that line a little bit too far. But you're the guy that takes not just one step over the line. You jump over the line with both feet. before you consider whether or not you have to back off. And I like that. I wish I had the ability to push the envelope just a little bit farther.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm only at 50. That's why I'm still stuck at 15,000 subs. So just saying.
But you're
like
you're free.
Yeah,
and the fact that
yes.
you are only at 15,000 subscribers is a fucking tragedy. It's an injustice. It's incomprehensible. I do not understand that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to be the stray dog. Yes, I am a stray dog. I have freedom, but I wander in the rain. Whereas you get to be like Strawberry there and have a nice comfy couch to sit on.
Well, I had a nice comfy couch until Strawberry took it. Whiskey 77 says, "Get over it and have a makeout session with Nick. We know you have a man crush on him." No, I don't. But like it says, but it may seem that way because you're the same way. If you're just sitting around doing nothing and Nick Rekieta sends a message and says, "Do you want to come on?" Of course you want to. Even if you don't want to, you do because you're gonna get something out of it. And I mean, I do have a man crush on him from that perspective. The guy doesn't have to give us the fucking time of day, but he does.
Yeah, well, I'll say this much, like during Johnny Depp, especially, I didn't, I'll be straight. I could give two fucks less what happens with those two. They could both pull a Carrie Fisher and fentanyl themselves to sleep. I've never watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Never watched any of it. No, I don't really want to see Johnny Depp go run around like this. Like
it was amusing for like 1.5 of them.
Yeah. No.
Then it was just gay Keith Richards.
Yeah, that's what it just. Yes, the memes. You best believe in trolling. You're in one. Okay, great. That we got memes out of this. But other than that, no, I didn't care for it. Amber Heard, wow, another evil cunt in Hollywood. It's like, holy shit. Right. She's like, yeah, we should put a tracking device on her so we don't lose her.
Don't worry. Evan Rachel Wood has her in her clitoral orbit. So, we're good there.
Yeah, and God, I keep on watching I was watching Westworld and I'm like, why did I just die?
See, no, but see, I didn't realize that was her. And she's smoking hot in Westwood.
Yeah.
She's like super hot. I'm watching this just going, yeah, she's super hot. And then there's all this Manson shit's happening. And I'm like, Evan Rachel. And I'm like, who the fuck is Evan Rachel Wood? And like Google, I'm like, oh, fuck. God damn it. Why does it have to be her?
Yeah. Well,
and that sort of ruined all of my fantasies.
Apparently people in chat are, there's a lot of things I don't like. If you want to watch sailing stuff, go watch Master and Commander. But,
or as I call it, Master and Command Me, the Far Side of the Strap-On.
Oh, is that what they retitled it to for the adult industry?
Oh, see, if there was I just made that up, but like one day and it stuck. But I mean, if I would, that would be a great porn title, wouldn't it?
Yes.
But no, a boll weevil. God, I hated that movie.
Oh, you did? I love that movie.
I love it from the perspective. It is one of the most accurate naval battle movies ever made.
Yes,
but just the writing was kind of shit.
Well, they had to squish a couple of books together, but no, I mean that was just
I love Horatio Hornblower.
Quotas.
Yeah, I love the Horatio Hornblower books. They've got the sci-fi version of it by Weber, Honor Harrington series. It's like Horatio Hornblower in space, great series. Yeah. But I didn't like that movie for some reason.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things I know a lot of likes that I don't like sous vide. I don't like boiling meat.
No, there's nothing right. I just finished making the most amazing roast lamb shoulder, just because like I had this extra lamb in the fridge. It was like if I waited 3 more days, I'd have to chuck it. So I just made this. I'm gonna have like lamb sandwich. Oh, sous vide is it's like Satan's asshole. Why would you boil meat?
I don't know, but people do. Slow. Yeah, but then also, I mean, the big one a lot of people like that I don't like is Dragon Ball Z. I never got into that.
I'm a little too old for that. That was just
I mean, basically you have there's every episode there's a big fight and they drive each other on the side of a mountain. It's like Omni-Man.
Well, that's every anime.
And then one of them goes and there's boom, and it's like okay.
But how is that not my generation's He-Man and Thundercats and Same big deal, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, people are like, oh my God, Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, yeah, you got the balls part right.
That was a very good Francis impression there, by the way.
Like, you never said the chocolate your sailor.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's creepy as fuck.
Oh my
Stop
God,
that.
Chef. So sweet.
That's creepy as fuck. Don't ever do that again.
Well, actually, did you know?
Invested in crypto and lost every fucking penny.
Oh well, Boogie. Well, no, that's just my retainer voice. But yeah, well, Boogie's a whole other thing. Yeah, well,
see,
man can't take a punch. I'll say that much.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you need to watch.
He
gets, you know, as much as like Wings is like, you know, Wings is not throwing heat, but he's throwing enough heat that like Boogie's reaction is like, I don't think he ever took a hit in the face. And
well, he alleges that his mother did it to him a lot.
He's not acting like it. Although I wonder this because I know I thought he was still on probation. And I didn't want to bring this up.
I thought it was a 2 or 3 year probation thing.
Yeah, which means he's still on it. Did he get permission to leave the country? Because they went to London.
Here's an interesting question.
I didn't want to bring that up on the farms because I don't want the farms to be the reason why he goes to fucking prison.
He goes back to jail. Well, yeah,
I don't want to dry snitch on him there. And I didn't check the thread to see if it happened.
I don't have a problem with him.
By the way, I'm not telling you what my screen name is, you fuckers. So
I don't have a problem with Boogie. I do have. It shouldn't have been a warning shot. He should have just shot the fucker.
No, because Frank didn't deserve to get shot. There was no need to get shot there.
Well, there was no need to show up on a man's doorstep, which we just learned in this Travis Rudolph trial that I covered. Don't roll up on some dude's house talking shit.
Yeah, well, I think Travis Rudolph also learned because he got acquitted. But I can tell you the past, like however long this has been, his ass has been making diamonds. So I'm sure if you would ask him, he'd be like, I'd have closed my fucking door and call the police.
Yeah.
100%. So
yeah,
he got vindicated, but that kind of stress takes years off your life.
She-Ra was so hot. Realized I like boys and girls. Just kidding.
So,
see, who was hot was Princess from Battle of the Planets. G-Force. She was hot.
Yeah.
And Casey Kasem doing the voice of Jason, the commander.
Oh, somebody wanted to
a lonely starfire pilot.
Oh, somebody wanted to know. Oh, somebody's asking, what are we talking about? Okay, so I think they're talking about Boogie and them.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so Boogie, Wings, and Redemption are two fat guys. Okay, not me. There are other fat guys on YouTube.
Yeah,
and they're both kind of washed up in the. They were part of the reaction phase, and they were in, games and stuff like that. Well, Keemstar is kind of like this. He started. He did reaction stuff.
I challenge you to describe Boogie in less than 1,000 words.
I can. Washed up. Anyways, Keemstar's like a content pimp now and runs boxing, and he had these two fat guys over 400 pounds start boxing each other in Britain. And yeah, it's very interesting to watch.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I mean, DSP was supposed to be in on that. And see, I'm one of the original.
Not the boxing.
DSP
he was supposed to do a show for him.
Well,
Did you see the side scrollers thing with him?
Well, they originally wanted him to be part of the boxing thing, and he wouldn't do it. So then they offered him the show.
I'd fucking pay money to watch Phil
$1,000 for that bike.
I would pay money to watch Phil catch hands.
Oh
my
yes.
God!
But see,
I would pay $500 to watch that.
He's been doing this YouTube thing for 15 years, and I've probably been watching him for 12 of those.
Yeah.
And for the last 12 years, I'm like, this dude is gonna die tomorrow. He's gonna be deplatformed. He's gonna lose his platform. He's a fucking cockroach of the gaming internet.
Detractors. Yeah.
And those are the people that are keeping him alive.
Yes.
He probably has 5 times more haters than he does fans. And it's just the people that hate him that keep watching him are the ones that are keeping him around. And I actually contacted him, and I was going to give him free bankruptcy advice. And he just told me to fuck off and blocked me from Twitter and blocked me from email and everything, because I thought it would be hilarious. And I would give him like some genuine advice. But yeah, I mean, They offered him $50,000 to participate in the boxing. There is very little on planet Earth I would not do if you offered me $50,000.
Well, I would take punches from Boogie all day long for $50,000.
Hell yeah!
I've been injured in a lot of ways. I've taken a lot of punches. I've taken boots to the face. Like there was a fight I remember. It was going really good till his buddy showed up and grabbed me off of him, and then I remember
until it wasn't.
I remember for a second or two, like kind of blacking in and blacking out, where like this foot came on my face a couple of times. I've torn my patella tendon in my knee, like,
ouch.
Which is, well, yeah, and I tore it itself. I tore the actual thing, not off the bone. Oh God, that was that was the worst pain of my life. Oof. So yeah, I'm like, I'd let Wings punch me in the face for $50,000.
Well, see, my problem is I have a very low pain threshold. I have a very low pain tolerance. I can dish it out like nobody's business, but I just don't like being in pain. It probably stems from like literally breaking every one of my limbs severely at some point in my life. But
if I
were to fight, I would get them before they got me. Yeah.
Well, and I'm not gonna say I'm sitting here like a pit
like carving
bull
your
just
initials in your
yeah, or I'm like that guy in James Bond who didn't feel pain. No, I'm not that, but it's like I'm willing to bet Boogie punching me in the face wouldn't have hurt. I'm willing to bet Phil punching me in the face would be fairly okay. Even Wings. I mean, yeah, he was throwing, but I mean, I'd be willing to take
a little meat
though.
behind him though.
I got a little behind me too, and also if it got to the point where I felt like it was too much, it's kind of like if you're, when you see those videos of like, my dad likes to tell the story when he was boxing a guy. he was sparring with a guy who was a Gold Gloves champion in the Navy, because he went to a military school and for college, and he was sparring with a guy and he accidentally popped him, and my dad was like, "Uh-oh," and the dude like within the next 10 seconds, my dad was on the ground, and it's like I'd be willing to give Boogie a little bit till they get too hard.
Yeah, until you get too hard. What?
Yeah,
it's all about Hit me again, Biggie. Well, see, this is a little known Law Racks fact. I've only talked about this once before.
Yeah,
I started taking martial arts in 4th grade because my older brother, who's dead now, he was almost 5 years older than me. I was just his punching bag. So I started taking martial arts in 4th grade to hopefully one day have the ability to defend myself against my older brother. And eventually it worked out. But then when I moved here to Korea, I started doing one of the Korean national martial arts, Guksul 1, and then Hapkido. Yeah. And so I've got black belts in Hapkido and Guksul 1. And in 2000, I took 3rd place in the national Guksul 1 martial arts competition in like all of Korea. I took 3rd place in my weight division.
Were there 3 guys?
No, this is the shit. It was the super heavyweight category. Yeah. And the super heavyweight category started at 72 kilograms, which is like 150 right? Pounds. Yeah. Yeah. They're like, bitch, I was 150 pounds in 9th grade. But yeah, I took 3rd place in the entire nation in 2000. But then
so it's like it's an open-ended heavyweight.
Yeah, and that's when I learned there's politics in martial arts, and I didn't want to get involved in it, so I just bailed. But I can dish it out, but I just don't like. I don't like to get hit.
It's like pride fighting, where they had like you could fight any of the way back. Do you remember watching that way back in the day, where you'd have like the little guys fight the big guys, and it's like
it'd be like some miniature guy against like Butterbean out there.
Yeah, that shit was so cool to watch.
Oh, and rest in peace, Iron Chic. The Iron Chic passed away today.
He did. Yeah, that's a shame because unlike all those other guys, he either he didn't juiced up just a little bit, or his body could handle all that steroids because he made it to 81.
Yeah, and for a guy who was absolutely anti-Iranian government to play an Iranian heel, bless him for doing that for his entire fucking career.
Yeah,
a great guy.
Yeah, I mentioned that there's if people didn't know it, there's a match him and Sergeant Slaughter fought in Madison Square Garden in like 1980.
84.
And it's like 84. Yeah, it was like pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, I'll never forget the day that cable came to Logan, Utah. Well, not Logan, like Nibley, Utah, where I lived, like out in the suburbs. We had more cows than people in hometown. Like 2,000 people and about 5,000 cows.
Yeah.
The day that cable came to our town was the best fucking day of my life. I think I was like 8 years old when cable finally came to town. And Georgia Championship Wrestling. Like Saturday was Battlestar Galactica, and then after that, Georgia Championship Wrestling would start with Gordon Soley and the Fabulous Freebirds and King Kong Bundy and the Iron Sheik and Abdullah the Butcher and the Von Erichs and all. I mean, the Bob Backlund, the old school wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
That was when they're like serious, not like today when they get a little bit of blood. This is when they were just like blading the fuck out of their heads and things.
Well, I remember for the longest time, like, oh god, I discovered when I was in junior high, that's when SmackDown and all that started. The Attitude Era.
You're the Attitude Era, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got into the Attitude Era because when I got here to Korea to start my wonderful law career, the Armed Forces Network was the only English language program available on cable, and it was wrestling every Thursday night.
Okay.
So I knew way more about wrestling than I should have at 30 years old.
No, it was great. We were kids and sometimes somebody would be stone cold, but we didn't we would get a hold of beers every once in a while, but those were too precious to waste. So you take like cans of Sprite and you like do the
yeah.
Oh, it was great. But at that point in time, when I was in junior high, because I still didn't get cable. God, it was late till I got cable. One of the local channels here in Cleveland would show ECW wrestling, but they showed it like Friday nights at like 11 o'clock because it was like, it's like, Sabu and those guys just wrapping themselves in barbed wire and like fighting each other. Like it was pretty epic.
Well, see, that was cool. I mean, I seriously, and we also had like the Japanese channel, so they would show like the Japanese wrestling when like Terry Funk and Mick Foley back when he was the Hacksaw Jack, not Hacksaw Jack. What the fuck was his name?
No.
It was somebody Jack.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Damn it. Chad'll know, but it was somebody Jack. Was Mick Foley's name when he was in the Japanese Wrestling Association, and it was like him and Terry Funk were doing these just fucking set yourself on fire match. Cactus Jack, that's right. It was Cactus Jack. See, Legal Vice's chat is the best chat. Yeah, everybody says Cactus Jack. Yeah, I mean him and Terry Funk doing the barbed wire matches. Like they'd set the fucking barbed wire on fire and throw the thumbtacks in the ring and the broken glass bat matches and like the Japanese are just out of their fucking minds.
Yes,
doing these, and I would just and it's like you say, oh yeah, wrestling is fake, but when you're being thrown into barbed wire and hit with a bat wrapped with glass, you're being hit by a fucking bat wrapped with glass.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, it's fake, but and that's that's one of my earliest memories of Geraldo Rivera is him talking. I can't remember who the wrestler was, but saying wrestling is fake, and the guy went bam and gave him an ear slap, and that's why like Geraldo Rivera is deaf in one of his ears to this day.
Yeah,
is that fake, motherfucker?
Yeah,
the professional stuntman, and it's entertainment.
Yes, they are.
It's still real to me. Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess somebody saw my somebody finally read my title. That's under my name.
What did someone say? I missed this. What did somebody say?
No, somebody read it, but I'm surprised it took people that long to notice.
Yeah. Jim Stossel got slapped by Dr.
Yeah.
Everybody gets slapped.
Yeah.
But no, my mother confessed to dating a professional wrestler once. My mother was the coolest fucking woman on planet Earth. God rest her. My dad was he's the most boring person ever to walk the planet.
I don't mean to time you out, but you have a $100 super chat you need to dispose of.
Oh shit. Oh, holy crap. I
thought you were saving it, but
no, that was like 20 minutes ago, and I meant to get to it. Excuse me, Brandon. Let's go down here. Bella, Stella, free the hounds. We freed the hounds. Thank you so much, Bella. John Gordon, hashtag free. Yoda is free. Yoda is just fucked off to the sofa because that's where Yoda sits. Homer 311. Let's face it, some legal proceedings can be real trials to sit through. Waka, waka, waka. Lawyers do it in their briefs. Ha, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Thank you, Homer. Let's go, Brandon, with the $23 super chat. Time to bring back the OG handle to be Vice Racks. Well, okay, we'll get you there. Just hang on just a second. Now let's get down to brass tacks, TAX. How much to eat the dog? Now, I used to really, really love dog meat. It's honest to God the best meat I have ever tasted in my entire life. Yeah. But how they kill it is the most horrific thing ever. And I lived next to a dog farm for about 3 weeks.
I guess, how do they kill the
dogs? The idea is the more adrenaline you produce, the whole idea behind dog soup in Korea is it's supposed to make
are you fucking serious?
Hard. Yeah, it's supposed to make your dick extra hard. Like every time you go in there, they go, ooh, yeah, stamina. I'm like, but yeah, they get the adrenaline going, and the normal way is they'll string a dog up by its neck, beat it with some pipes or some baseball bats or something. Then they pour like alcohol on it, set it on fire while it's alive, beat it to death, and then skin it.
I mean that's fucking barbaric, but that's also a lot of work for such a little return on meat. Like you have to do that for every dog. That's a lot. Like you're going to spend a lot of. Well, I was about to say that seems very labor intensive.
Yeah, and like once I lived next to this, and that's why I only lived there for 3 weeks. I just couldn't live there anymore. Once I saw how it was done, I can't eat it anymore.
Wow.
I mean, for me, I'm from Farmington. Meat is meat is meat. Everybody names their fucking 4-H pigs, and then they kill them and eat them. Everybody names their 4-H cow. Everybody eats fucking Bessie at the end of the day. Meat is meat is meat. And there's like one particular breed that they breed to be eating dogs. But now after like the 1988 Olympics, they all, they had to go underground. And now it's really, really hard to find a dog restaurant. And I don't look anymore. So yeah, I mean, it was grim. Should you choose Korean barbecue? Well, they offer them in soup and steamed is kind of the way you get them. For the guest of honor, they give the steamed dog penis to the guest of honor.
Oh, okay, I'll pass. I'll just stick. I'll just stick to the most outrageous things, having horse meat, which is really good.
I've had horse meat here in Korea once.
Horse is really good eating.
It's pretty good. The most surprising meat I ever had was ostrich. I was surprised that ostrich is a red meat.
Oh,
that was weird. Yeah, but they had a lot of whale meat here. Not like it's a specific like Norwegian whale that's not endangered and whatnot. I mean, it's just really, really fatty and great. What's your favorite sauce? You don't put sauce on meat. Salt and pepper is the only thing you should ever put on meat. And the big one. Let's go, Brandon. Bring in the $100 super chat. If you hit the like button, Jeff will do a shot, and potentially criminal will shotgun a White Claw for old time's sake.
I don't have a White Claw, but
it's 11 a.m. It's 10 a.m. already.
It's 10 a.m. Yeah.
No. I just finished my bottle of High West. I'm not gonna.
Just for you, Brandon. Just for you and that, that relationship we've had in the past. I'll do this for you, brother.
I'm not gonna do a shot of vodka, so I'm gonna open Compass Box. This is the Compass Box Orchard House blended whiskey. This is an amazing whiskey. I just magically happen to have a bottle of whiskey on hand. It's almost as if Brandon knows me. I just happen to have an unopened bottle within arm's reach.
Yes.
I'm sorry. One of my best friends is leaving Korea forever next week, and he's like, "Do you want all my open bottles?" I'm like, pfft. So I got to go pick up like 20 open bottles of whiskey and
that's such a shame.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
and it's good stuff too. So I'm like, yeah, all right, sweet, thanks.
Is he leaving forever because like you're retiring, or do you get deported, or what?
He's just being transferred back to. He's part of a German automotive manufacturer making sunroofs, and
he's being sent back to the Eastern Front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go, Brandon. Good to see you again. And all reminders, next Friday is Fuck It Friday. Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, that was about a triple.
Yeah, that was a lot, but
I don't have my shot glass. Oh, God damn it. Here's my shot glass. Fuck. Whew. That was a lot. It's been a while. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go, Brandon. I'll put you up there at the Vice Law Racks there in a minute. Holy Christ. Whiskey 77, a man after my own heart. Get over it and have a make out with Nick. You know, you have a man crush on him. We addressed that earlier. And okay, business meeting over. Release the hounds. We have done that. Oh, it's yawn time for Strawberry. What? Am I disturbing you? Go back to sleep. Umrete with the... What the hell is BGN? This is the first time I've ever seen BGN as a currency. Huh.
BGN.
Hang on. Belgian... Bulgarian lev. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was say Belgium uses the euro, so
yeah, it's the Bulgarian currency.
The Bulgarian lev. That must be the most premium of Eastern European currencies.
One of my favorite music groups is like the Bulgarian Nuns Choir.
What's your dog all? Is there a ghost in your house? Your dog is
Probably.
like your dog is just like staring off.
I do have ghosts in my house, probably.
Oh.
Thank you so much for that. Oh, and another. Okay, wait, we got Release the Hounds. Thank you so much for that. Now I know I'm printing Umrete. Thank you so much. Legal Vices, aka the Shot Dodger. Oh, this should work. Oh, see, I shouldn't have taken the shot because then he would have given me a bunch more Shot Dodgers things here. This should work. Oh, everyone in the chat, relax. This isn't my first rodeo. The collective has spoken. There we go. Thank you so much. Yeah, we were just having too much fun. I meant to do that immediately, and then I forgot because I'm just we got talking about wrestling, and that's like I haven't watched wrestling in years, but I can go back to the old school shit. And I know I've talked about this before. We in middle school, back when it was called junior high, we started a professional wrestling club. And we would meet in the locker room every day, just like bang people's heads off the benches and the lockers and shit.
Yeah.
And my best friend and I, we got to go to a wrestling event in Salt Lake City back in the old Salt Palace days. And the main event was a battle royal that just had everybody. And like back in that day, my two big heroes were Michael Hayes from the Fabulous Freebirds. And if any of you have seen that movie, Highlander. If you've seen Highlander, the opening wrestling scene, that's the Freebirds. And the long-haired guy that whips his hair back, that's Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes from the Freebirds was my guy when I was growing up. Him and Tommy Wildfire Rich. And the evil guy was the Great Kabuki. He was a Japanese guy that worked to Kabuki makeup, and he would like spit green mist into the air and blind his opponents. But there was like Kabuki, the Fabulous Freebirds, Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, the guy from Georgia, from Stone Mountain, Georgia, Jerry Blackwell, Bob Backlund.
Stone Mountain, Georgia.
It was a 16-man battle royal with like all of these amazing people, and we had seats from like the heel dressing room, right next to the heel dressing room. We were 5 rows up in the bleachers, right on the railing. And Andre the Giant came out, and he was still like way the fuck above us, and we were sitting in the 5th row of the bleachers. That is the biggest fucking lump of human flesh I have ever seen in my life. It was unreal how big that man was, and he just like walked right past us. I mean, we were fucking like 5 feet off the ground, sitting in a chair, and he's still towering over us. What a huge guy!
Yeah, no, yeah, Highlander. That's also it's one of my favorite TV shows too as a kid. I remember that one. That used to be on all the time.
Kind of object to it, but
really,
the original Highlander is one of the greatest movies ever.
The movie. Well, that movie got me into doing European fencing.
Oh, cool.
But no, but the TV show, Adrian Pollock, he's Highlander in that. I actually got
watched a few episodes.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good. I have it's my the future Mrs. Martin 2.0, very lovely woman. Yes, there will be a 2.0. Yes, yes, a better edition.
Can't be worse.
Well, I'm not banking. I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to. No, you never say that.
Oh, I can.
But no, she's phenomenally better than the first one. But yeah, he does this thing where he goes to various cons and he teaches like fight choreography, which is a little different than like actual sword fighting. But when you do it, except for his class, you get one of these bad boys for it because from Highlander, and it sucked because I was gonna go do it, and that's when I blew out my knee.
Wait, is that Narsil behind you?
What?
Is that a replica of Narsil behind you?
What are you talking about?
Aragorn sword? Like the sword next to your pith helmet. What is that?
Oh no! This?
Yeah, that looks like the hilt of Narsil, Aragorn sword.
No. This is what's called a waster. This is for historic European martial arts. No, it is no, it's a German Zweihander. It's just actually not Zweihander, it's a long sword. So no, it's just got the lugs on it.
But it would still be
this is what you use to spar with if you don't have a metal one. And I had this for the longest time, and I probably would upgrade to a metal one, but I need a little wait for it because it's a very mobile sport. But no, these are so much fun to learn how to use. So when people say like, "Oh, we should go back to the times of using swords," it's like it was really hard to learn how to use a sword. You only learned how to use a sword if you were rich and you could afford not to work in the field. So the people who say that
armor wasn't cheap. You would literally buy armor off of dead people.
Well, but this right here though, you would carry these around. This was like this was your like open carry walking around the cities back then too. So yeah, these are a lot of fun. So
I mean, I used to collect knives, and I always wanted to collect swords.
The Riddle of Steel. Yes, I have.
And like the problem with Korea is I would love to have swords and shit here, but much as we have to register firearms in the States, you have to register swords in Korea.
Are you fucking serious?
Technically anything above a 4-inch blade is illegal.
So like
other
kitchen
than
knives.
kitchen knives. Yeah, other than kitchen knives, other than like utensils. So yeah, I mean it's
more like South Korea.
Seriously, no. I mean, see, like on Instagram, I follow like all.
You cannot have sword longer than our longest penis. That is law here.
That, like, my father doesn't appreciate.
Just like
things.
That's actually true.
Yeah, no, it is. My father doesn't appreciate things. I was big into like the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism, back in the day. And I had this gorgeous like replica Scottish claymore. Had like this 7-foot blade. Paid like $700 for it. And my father just thought it's just some fucking toy and chucked it one day. And but I would love to have a collection of swords. It's sad. I'm feeling sad. It's a downer because I saw your sword. Anonymous with $2. Anonymous with an anonymous $2. That's anonymous. Thank you so much. Flux, bring in the heat. I love Long Claw and Needle to start my collection. Oh, yeah, you have Long Claw and Needle. Oh, cool. I'm gels. I'm totally gels. Long Claw and Needle would be sweet. And Adam, Legal Vice's best wrestling storyline. NWO. Best wrestling. See, I was back in the day, they didn't have storylines, they just had rivalries. But like when the storylines came in, I would say like the best storyline was, I was a huge Paul Bearer fan. Rest in peace, Paul. He was just like the creepiest, weirdest motherfucker out there in wrestling. And I would say like the original Undertaker and original Kane storyline. The long lost brother who was burned in a building fire and survived and came back later. Like the original, the Undertaker and original Kane storyline was probably my favorite storyline. Wrestling is male soap opera. Totally.
It is. 100%. 100% it is.
And I'm actually working on getting a former Korean female WWE person as a guest on my stream. Hopefully I can make this work.
Yeah, that's it. My favorite of all time is Razor Ramon.
Really?
The best. I loved. Let me tell you what, Chic.
He's dead too, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But he, when you read about him though, and I later on you learn about how he was the mastermind behind all that, like his creative ability. Like he was the writer for all of that, all the way through the 90s. He did like the NWO, and then he would like all the stuff he could come up with. He was such a brilliant man.
But he was always on the fringe of everything.
Yeah, but it's just, I tell you what, Chico love the women's, love a nice drink. Razor was the best. Razor was the best.
Well, see, for me, I think except my hero was Michael Hayes from the Freebirds.
Yeah,
the pretty boy guy that was Tommy Wildfire Rich. But like the guy that everybody wanted to be when I was a kid was Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody was just a fucking animal, and he was one of those people that like may have genuinely been insane. I mean, I have to bring up a Bruiser Brody picture. He would wear these giant like muckluck boots and like kind of this leather thing, and he'd just walk around the ring going hutch, 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 and then he would just fuck everybody up. And he may or may not have been murdered by like people that took wrestling way too seriously in a country that didn't speak English. Yeah, Bruiser Brody was fucking awesome. He was my hero. Like he's the guy I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah.
He was just insane. Yeah, rest in peace. His autopsy, his funeral and his autopsy. He was like literally stabbed to death after a wrestling event. And that's a man who has took some fucking blades to the forehead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He would walk around the ring like this with like muckluck boots and things. Dude was the shit. Oh, I loved me some Bruiser Brody.
Well, somebody says he got stabbed in Puerto Rico. Ooh.
Yeah. Oof. I just said the non-English speaking country. I didn't say which one. But yeah,
well, that's still part of our country.
There's actually a big documentary about his murder. I mean, it's really, really interesting. Jeff Moser, Sergeant Slaughter was also pretty goated. Yeah. See, like Sergeant Slaughter and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, they're kind of the people that were in literally everyone's generation of wrestling. Sergeant Slaughter was he was lucky because the first, before even before Iraq War #1, it was the Iran-Iraq War. He lucked out just by being himself, and a war actually breaking out with his wrestling nemesis. God, how are we talking about wrestling? I brought you on here to talk about news and to drop F-bombs and shit. And we've just been geeking out with wrestling and shit. This is great. And for some reason, there's still 583 people that are listening to us talk this bullshit. I love you, chat. Thank you so much for sticking around here for this. This is why I like these sit downs. I never prepare anything, and we just see where the damn conversation. I bring people on here to talk about things. We just see where it goes. Oh God. Stephen Cooper, happy to hear the two of you, my favorite and criminally under-sub tubers. Subscribe to my tube. Become my newest member. That's all I got to say. And potentially, you want to be Sean's member too. Everybody wants to be our member. We can be a joint member, like Siamese twins joined as a member. That's what we need to be. Anyway, Torrent 3. Thank you so much. Wow, I started out in the SCA in Idaho. Okay, here's a fucking nerdy geek question. Was that part of the Kingdom of Estrella? It's been so long since I was involved in the community. We used to look like the Estrella Wars and shit. Oh my God. In 84, yeah, we probably met if it was 84, bro.
I shouldn't tell you what I was doing in 84.
You were just like sitting in your mama's couch or what?
I wasn't even alive yet.
Yeah. Well, had you been conceived by that point?
I was born in August 85, so probably not.
No. Wow. Yeah. If it was 84, we probably did. Also, you were in the running for a braid. Torrent 3 is amazing. Torrent 3 like makes these traditional Japanese knot tying braids that are just fucking awesome. They're amazing. And like one of these little bands can take 70, 80 hours to make. They're just and he does them in the traditional style. Amazing shit. I hope I'm in the running. I can wait. I ain't going anywhere. But yeah, you started on the SCA in Idaho in '84. Yeah, we probably met in the fucking nerdiest of nerdiest things ever. And Jeff Moser, Sergeant Slaughter, is also pretty goated. We addressed that. And Fair Frozen 55 happened in PR. Yep, Puerto Rico makes sense. We have insane. Oh, you're in Puerto Rico? I didn't know that. Oh, cool. We have insane wrestling fans here too. No, they were fucking serious. I mean, they bought into the whole storylines and like, yeah, we don't like this guy, man. We're gonna cut him. And they just fucking stabbed him after a wrestling match because he beat one of the local guys. They just fucking murdered him. And yeah, the documentary on that is some really seriously interesting shit. It's on YouTube, of course, because everything's like YouTube can show the documentary of the murder of someone, but we say fucking retard and we get demonetized. Screw you, YouTube. And a local scene too. Carlitos Caribbean Cool came from the famous family here. I did not know you were in Puerto Rico. I learned something every day. Nick Naylor, fellas, didn't like the train thing. What? Oh, feds didn't like the train thing. I need counsel. You didn't blow up a train. Oh, see, I didn't have time. I was going to do like the bridge blowing scene from the River Kwai for your intro, but I didn't have time to prepare it. The bridge on the River Kwai is like Alec Guinness going falling on the detonator. I was going to do that. That was one of my favorite streams I ever did with Sean, is when he was like turning me on to all the how to blow tracks YouTube videos.
Yes, that was a fun time. And then, we had the 60,000 pounds of fertilizer disappear a couple months ago.
Well, I mean,
although it sounds like there was a plausible explanation that apparently it was going from Wyoming to California, and it was in one of those hopper cars, and it sounds like the bottom fell open and it just deposited it.
Scattered it about, yeah.
Yes, that's what they want you to think.
Of course. Sort of like one of these Breaking Bad things. Stop the train, drain the tanks.
Oh my God, I would lose my mind if I had 60,000 pounds of fertilizer.
But people in Idaho have a little more to worry about than missing fertilizer. You just like you literally have detonating trains there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad. There hasn't been anything. Whatever happened to the great train scare of 2023? It went away. What took its place? What has replaced we went from the trains to the floating UFO Chi-Com balloons, and I guess now it's the Trump thing, isn't it? Everybody's gonna be sucking on the Trump tit for a while.
Yeah. Yes.
Trump thoughts? I know you have opinions. You have opinions about everything.
Yeah, this is gonna be. There's a reason why they did this in Florida, and I think they realized crash and burn.
Explain that. Explain why they did it in Florida and not somewhere else.
Well, I think they realized if they try to go to DC, it's not going to look good on them.
But I mean, that's a big risk though, because Florida is leaning conservative these days.
Well, Southern District of Florida and Miami, yeah, there's a lot of people from an island 90 miles south who are very, very happy with the Emperor of Mankind. So I think they realize, though, this case, remember, this is not about if they can get something on them, great. This is about the process being the punishment. They think this is going to hurt them. They think that, this is going to drag on past the election. And yeah, if they were to convict them and throw them away for 99 gajillion years and put the orange man in some orange, they'll have their party and beat their dicks raw about that.
And speaking of that country, 90 miles to the south, we know who he got for his lawyer.
He's the best lawyer in Miami.
I know, because he has a really bad habit of picking shitty attorneys. Really bad habit. I mean, the attorneys he had for his impeachment were about
at least one's past their prime. Like, I remember, for me, Rudy Giuliani will always be the Giuliani of the 80s, the one that learned how to use RICO to bring down organized crime, to bring down the mob. He'll be the Rudy Giuliani of 9/11, who could have been probably anointed emperor of the United States at that point.
Yeah,
not the crazy, weird mascara running, drooling Giuliani of 2023.
Have you ever watched Veep, Jeff?
that was a Will Ferrell movie, right?
No, Veep is it's on HBO. It's got Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No.
She's the vice president. Oh, well, they bring in this guy. He's like the straight political expert. He's like a million fucking years old. And he's like fucking riddled with dementia. And he's like, and he's trying to help their campaign. He's like, call this person at this newspaper and this newspaper and this newspaper, and we're gonna sit down and have interviews. And somebody's like, I just called. They're all dead. It's like, so yes, Rudy is like that guy. He's way past his prime. And
seriously though, after 9/11, in your opinion, could he or could he not have just literally been anointed Emperor of America?
Mayor. He was
could have been anointed
mayor.
Fucking Emperor of America.
Yes, he was America's mayor, and everybody loved him. And it's funny because my mom's family still lives in New York City, and they said, like when he got elected, everybody fucking hated him. And nobody fucking liked him.
He's a nice young man, Archie.
Yeah, everybody hated him. Everybody hated his fucking guts until September 11th, and everybody fucking loved him. And then a couple years later, everybody fucking hated his guts again.
But God bless him, because he was the guy that figured out how to use RICO to bring down the mob. And of course, bringing down the mob certainly made America worse.
Well, Rico's bullshit anyway. They couldn't figure out how to beat him, so they made up a law to go after him.
Yeah. But they couldn't use it for years until Giuliani figured out how to do it. But as someone who lives in Utah, right next door to Nevada and Las Vegas, Las Vegas is a quick 7-hour drive from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas turned to shit when the mob lost control of Vegas.
Yeah.
There was not a homeless problem in Vegas when the mafia run it. There was not a housing problem in Vegas when the mafia ran it. There was no street litter when the mafia ran it. It was a gentleman's club, the whole place. You wore hats, you wore shirts, you wore ties, you dressed up to go to the casinos. It was a respectable place. The mafia goes away and you turn it over to the fucking government and it turns to shit.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've heard the stories. Even in the 90s, it was something to behold.
Vegas probably up until like the early 90s was a great place. Probably up until Showgirls was made. That was probably the downfall of Vegas was Showgirls. God dang. Oscar Gooman. I do not know Oscar Gooman. Oscar Gooman. The hell is Oscar Gooman? Democrat turned independent. Goodman was the mayor of Las Vegas. Oh, I do not know. From when? I'm looking at his Wikipedia page here. From 99 to I was in Korea. I didn't know who was in charge of Vegas. I'm like talking like back in the day, like when I was 4, 5, 6 years old. I remember going to Vegas, going to the Stardust. There was like Circus. They had this upper level that was all these circus rides and shit. And this was back in the day when you could just go, kids, we're going to leave you in the middle of Las Vegas in this one casino. Go upstairs and play on the games. We'll come back in a few hours and pick you up. And we would still be alive at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. They'd serve you these Roy Rogers, like non-alcoholic cocktails, and you feel like you're all the shit looking down at the people gambling, riding your rides for free and stuff. That was back in the day. But then we turned it over to Harry Reid, a lovely, wonderful Mormon gentleman. Put him in charge of the gaming, and then we elected him to Congress here.
He's that Weasley scumbag guy in Casino.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody likes to admit that. Nobody liked that. That was a
totally.
Harry Reid.
Totally.
Yep.
Oh my God. I can't believe that 608 people are sitting here listening to us talk this shit. This is great. But we need to bring some heat. We've been doing this for how much time do you have? It's Friday night. I got nothing going.
I'm good. I'm good on time.
I've got no time limit. I'm loaded with booze. What could possibly go wrong? We need to talk about some serious shit here. Oh, but first we've got some super chats. Love the super chats. Not required, but always graciously accepted and encouraged. And again, Fuck It Friday is happening next Friday. I don't know what we're gonna do. We can't continue the way we've been going. I literally had. Did you participate in any way in last month's Fuck It Friday, Sean?
I think I was there for a minute. Yes.
that tells you where I was last fucking Friday. Literally, all right, we'll talk about fucking Friday here in just a second. Yes, I'm from Puerto Rico. Just think, all these super chats are paid with a Puerto Rican credit card rack slide.
That's what I gotta remember that term.
That's good.
For the
That's
future.
Good. That's like the greatest sound ever. You know where you're going. Like my sister and my brother-in-law, they go to Puerto Rico a lot. I'll tell them to look up Fair Frozen in the phone book.
Yeah.
Do they still have phone books in America? They don't, do they?
I mean, I don't know. They threw one in my driveway and I just ran it over.
I'll tell you, like, it was 4 years ago I went to the States, and like Korea is all digital. I mean, I don't even carry my wallet anymore, which like pisses legal mindset Andrew off when we go to a bar and they like want to card us. I'm like, dude, do I look like I'm fucking 18? Thank you, but fuck you. I don't carry my wallet anymore. We do everything on, all of the payments are digital. Everything is done online. We don't have. The only time I ever touch cash is when I go to Costco, because I don't do their fucking. You have to buy this one. You have to get this one particular credit card to use it here. But everything is on. Everything is digital. And I went back to the States. I'm like, all right, I need to get a bank account set up in the U.S. So, of course, she takes me to some stupid pseudo bank, some stupid credit union, which I fucking hate because you can't do anything real at a credit union. But I'm like, all right, I need the debit card, need the credit card, and I need a book of checks. And this was like 4 years ago. And then I mentioned like a book of checks, and you just saw the clerk go. And my sister looks at me and goes, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, what? We don't use checks here anymore? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, good. But so yeah, you know, I'm like, I just think it's weird because everybody in America thinks Korea is a third world shithole country, but actually we all think America is a third world shithole country.
Or it's like you both are shithole countries.
Well, I mean, we've had
we both hate you.
We've had 5G connectivity for 5-6 years now. My internet runs at about like at the slowest about 2 gigabytes a second. I mean, and I go back to the
only
States.
the most premium of big titty hentai for Jeff.
And I'm like, God damn it, this fucking phone is taking 3 microseconds, 3 nanoseconds to do shit.
I want my anime titties. Where are they?
Seriously. I mean, long gone are the days when you had to dial up some BBS in California and spend 20 minutes to like watch it go. Here comes the titty.
I remember
the top
that.
Of the cleavage.
I was back into that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's we're gonna get to the nips. And then Dad picks up the phone upstairs and breaks the connection. You're like, fuck, and you got to start over again. And then you have to explain to him why you have a $55 phone bill to some random number in California that just make noises when he calls it to see what it is. That was a random weird side. No, Magician Sapphire. It wasn't a fan who yeeted Bruiser Brody. It was another wrestler named Invader 3 who stabbed him over money. I believe you maybe it's been like 15 years since I watched that documentary, but I believe you're right. Yeah. The corrupt court case around caused the Puerto Rico to be blacklisted by many American pro wrestlers. Yeah. And one of the Puerto Rican promoter guys, who was also one of the wrestlers, had a big stake in that and it went wrong. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. It's just been so damn long. It's like, I'm old. Uncivil Law, Kurt. What's up, Kurt? If you could please send your stream my way when you're done, I would appreciate it. Love you. Will do, Kurt. If you're still streaming by the time we wrap up, I will do that.
Oh, he will because he's in the middle of trial.
Oh, he's doing the Scot Peterson trial. Speaking of Scot Peterson, let's talk some shit.
Not that Scot Peterson. Well, it's last night somebody brought up, like, which Scot Peterson? I'm like, well, there's a bunch of Scot Petersons that have had trials.
He's doing the other Scot Peterson.
Yes, not Scot Peterson who murdered his. Well, okay, there's 2 Scot Petersons that murdered their wives.
He's doing the police officer in the Scot Peterson.
Yes, that's why we made the joke about that last night. Which Scot Peterson is this?
I'm still confused.
The coward of Broward.
The coward of I like that. Should we just bring up the article and read it?
Well, I mean, we can crash course the what he did,
or didn't do, as the fucking case may be.
Well, I thought there was a sniper. I didn't know where the shots were coming from. It's like, yeah, I'm sure when you hear, boom, 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 yeah, they must be coming from outside. The fact, you know, his comments at the bottom. Well, yeah, you know, We'll just go over it, read it. Let's read his comments at the bottom.
Let's do this. Yeah, if you remember the Parkland shooter, Cruz, Nicholas Cruz, he got sentenced to life in prison. And like the trial we're starting on Monday is the trial of like why some fucking whatever the initials are, Melly, who is the unlucky recipient of the brand new
Y&W Melly. He starts the 20th. It's not next week. It's the week after.
No, it's this Monday.
Really? Are you sure? Because
it starts on the 12th.
Like El said, it started.
Now Monday the 12th. They've already set the jury. They're starting on the 12th. Yeah.
I like what Y&W stands for, though.
I do not know, and I'm afraid to ask. I'm assuming young N-words something.
Yes. So creative.
What's the M?
Yeah. Young nigger Melly. Young nigger world is nigga. I said nigga, guys, not with the R. Young nigga world is the.
This is why I left. He just comes on to get my channel yeeted.
Yeah. So
world. Okay. Y and W stands for world, does it? Yeah. And literally all I know is it's like one rapper that was accused of murdering two other rappers. That's where my knowledge of this case ends.
Yes.
He has the unfortunate.
It's the gay. That said, though, they're his buddies. The one guy he killed was Y&W Juvie, and then the other guy he killed was Y&W Sack Chaser.
Yeah, I did like his name, Sack Chaser.
Oh, were you on last night when I was talking? Did you hear me talking about that?
Oh no, I didn't hear you talking about
that. That's the gayest name. That's a gayest rap name ever. I chase sacks. It's like, is that like an Eazy-E reference? Like you chasing them ball sacks? Like, because I'm just saying, like, I'm in Ohio. Like, if you go to Cleveland, we're telling people like in the rap scene, like, yo, my name's Sack Chaser. They're gonna be like,
they're just gonna put a cap in your ass right there.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter where you go. I guarantee if I walked up to some Amish guys and I said, "What would you think if somebody was called a sack chaser?" They'd be like, "Well, they'd act like they don't speak English," but then they'd say, "Does that mean a homosexual?" Be like,
right?
Yeah, pretty much everybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. You Lamau, you can say sack equals money all you want, but sack chaser.
Yeah. It's. Yeah. No. My name's Bug Chaser. I'm not chasing AIDS. I'm chasing bugs like money. Yeah.
Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch.
Yeah. That's just some cope, guys.
Yeah. The story I did read is basically they were doing some shit. They got in the Jeep. They rode away, and the defendant says, "Oh my God, we were just driving down the street and someone did a drive-by and shot up our Jeep and happened to kill these two guys." And then they actually did the ballistics analysis, the trajectory things, and went, "Well, wait a minute. It seems like all of these shots came from inside the vehicle," and they've charged him with murder. But he happens to be Flux says sack chasing is gay, and Flux would know. Oh, I lost you. Where'd you go, Flux? Oh shit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Flux says that's gay. Flux, you lovely, gorgeous bitch, you would know. But yeah, he is the unlucky recipient of the brand new Florida law regarding
and I don't think that's
death
constitutional.
penalty.
I don't think it's constitutional.
Well, we're gonna fucking find out.
Well, I mean, really,
he gets charged with guilty.
For
those of you that don't know, in most jurisdictions where the death penalty is
every other jurisdiction.
Well,
not most.
Most jurisdictions are you have to unanimously decide this guy deserves the death penalty. I think there's 3 jurisdictions. I can't remember the exact number. There's a few that require 11 or 10 of the 12 to vote for the death penalty.
I think I'm pretty sure it's got to be unanimous. I think you're thinking of split verdicts. And the Supreme Court even crushed that for regular.
I think there are like 3 jurisdictions. I think I might be fucking wrong because what do I know? I don't know anything. But what we do know is that Florida has gone out of its fucking mind because of Nicholas Cruz. 9 of the 13 jurors voted for the death penalty. 3 voted against the death penalty. So he got life in prison without the possibility of parole and not the death penalty. And so their lovely, wonderful governor said, "I know, we have a new law. 8 out of 10 is all it takes to get 2/3 of the jury is all that's required to take the life of an American citizen. You are allowed to kill someone if 8 of the 12 jurors think you need to die." And he is one of the unlucky recipients under the new death penalty standards. So not only is he being tried for the first degree murder of these two people, if he's found guilty, he will be sentenced to death or given life imprisonment by 8 out of 12 jurors. I think it's gonna be a huge case.
I think so too. It sounds like it's going to go on for a while, but
it's scheduled for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
because maybe a month. I just as much as.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm going to try to cover it too if I got free time coming up. But I
and it's all because of the Parkland shooters. Like, oh, he didn't get the death penalty because only nine people voted for it. So let's make it 8 people.
That's the worst kind of laws to pass. When you pass a law because
shit. Yeah.
Well, that specific person's conduct.
Yep.
And honestly, you know what? That was a issue. They picked shitty jurors, and they got a juror who was on there. It's like, well, I don't want to do it, and other people said, oh, it's a good idea.
Well, and then we see the fucking judge, helping the prosecutors after she's being reprimanded publicly.
Well, yes, and she resigned. Yeah. I covered that last night. She got reprimanded, and they basically called her out for being a stupid cunt.
Yeah, and she was
because the way she handled it. Judge, you wouldn't like it if they were doing this to your family. You protect my family, and you could hear it just like her
dare you talk about my children.
The brain was locking up because of I thought the spackle was going to start falling off when she started shaking.
It was.
Then she said it's like, and she said, but I offered the defense team a hug, and I'm like, I'm sure they wanted to punch you in the fucking face. Yeah. And then later on, this guy was trying to get out of prison on his murder charge. And at the hearing, it was like sometime afterwards, and she hadn't seen this prosecutor in a while. She's like, how are you holding up? And it's like, #woman moment. Good job, ladies.
And I think like everybody in LawTube, I watched everybody's reaction that I could watch.
Did you watch mine during that sentencing hearing?
Yeah, I mean, like without fail, literally every single LawTuber, when a robed judge gets off the stand, walks out into the gallery, and hugs the fucking prosecution team, every one of us was like, what the actual fuck is happening with this fucked up twat of a judge?
I was just going off on all the family members. That was actually where I got a text from my dad. He's like, you're going real hard on this one, aren't you? It's like...
And you should. That was so messed up.
That whole thing was so bad. And we learned from those people, like, I'm sure they were such insufferable fucks before their kids died. It's like, maybe the kids were better off. Just saying. Especially Fred Gutenberg, that fucking goober motherfucker.
Ugh.
Like, oh, we can't fuck with the Constitution. Oh, it's like, I'm sure you were a peach before your kid died. It's like, I haven't had a job. It's like, I'm sure that's a running theme in your life, brother.
Right, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure you're
I've been dealing with trauma. I haven't been able to hold down a job in 3 years.
Yeah.
You're just not hungry enough.
Yeah.
Love and Two Limes says, Sean, can I come up to Cleveland and have a drink with you? Hey, say yeah. Sean can say yeah. Come to Korea and I'm all over that shit. Let's see. Richard Gruber. There will be no 3. I am Richard Gruber. 20 minutes behind. You'll find that funny I hope in 20 minutes. 20 minutes behind, but do you know what happened to Kevin Nash in the summer of 92? What happened to Kevin Nash?
No, I don't know.
Kevin Nash for a while. Wow. Good question. I don't know. Nicholas Darov Trial Watch. Bringing the sexy Krona from Sweden.
Hello.
New Jack
Good
Rip.
to see you.
Yeah. We love Nicholas. Nicholas is good people. Oh, Meme Copium said to say hi, by the way.
Oh, hi, Meme.
And he said next time you're on, he's not going to do something that I forgot what he said he wasn't going to do.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sure you know what it is, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember.
I don't either. New Jack Rip. Nick, I don't know what that means. New Jack Rip. New Jack.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
New Jack City was a great movie with starring Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. And hey, Jeff says, Booter Berries, what's up, my gorgeous she-wench? Hey, Jeff, you had someone in your chat whose brother was on the Rudolph jury. Hey, people who had brothers in the Rudolph jury, hit me up on Twitter. I want to talk to you. Chance to find out what they were thinking during Screaming Prosecutor. Yeah, seriously, that guy was fucking unhinged. Captain Comeover. Yeah, whoever you are, if you're still here in chat, drop me a Twitter at The Legal Vices on Twitter. I would love to talk to your brother. And actually, I'm going to be reaching out to the defense lawyer to see if I can get him on. Because if that fucking law rat cunt Brandy, whatever the fuck her name is, can get him on, I can get him on. Don't clip that.
Which attorney are you trying to get on?
The defense lawyer for Travis Rudolph.
Oh, nice. That'll be
because
good.
That cunt on Twitter, like Brandy, what the fuck her name is, that causes drama everywhere. She's got an interview that I can get one to. But yeah, if you have a brother that was on the jury, I would love to speak to your brother who was actually on the jury. Thank you, Buddha Berries, and thank you for sending me the deets for the defense lawyer as well. Buddha Berries is the shit. She's awesome. We love her. All right, we are caught up, and now we need to talk about this Nicholas Cruz shit. The copper, yes. the hero who ran out of the school and hid behind a rock. We need to talk about that cunt.
Yes, and I'm surprised he has not looked at the muzzle end of a pistol and thought like.
Well, see, I think he was lucky. I think he was very, very lucky because people now are looking at this motherfucker and going, at least he wasn't as bad as the Uvalde.
No, he's just as bad. But
I agree with you. But I think people think, well, at least he had his magical theory of being super defense guy. Whereas the Uvalde people were sitting around.
No,
New Jack
there's no theory because he would have been trained as well to know you have a gun, you go hunting. That's active shooter training.
Sure. Yeah.
There is no waiting for teams. Like you do it like those dudes in Nashville did. Everybody rolls in and just starts looking, and then when you find them, just pop, 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 and that's it.
Nicholas Starro says New Jack was a wrestler, tased and threw a guy from 40 feet above the ring just because he didn't like him.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
Hans Gruber says, yeah. All right. Well, let you read this article on your stream earlier today or last night.
Last night.
Which depending on which side of the date line you happen to live on. Buddha Berries, I love your gorgeous, sexy, awesome face, but I'm going to have to hide your comment there. Thank you so much. Send me another super chat so I can look at your mug again. All righty. Let's embiggen it. Fuck off video. There we go. See if we can embiggen it some more. There we go. A former Broward County deputy is being tried on charges he failed to confront the gunman who murdered 14 students and 3 staff members. But what do you do with the? I'm obfuscating. I'd say, what do you do with the literally 400 fucking police officers that were sitting there with their thumbs up their asses and their cocks up each other's asses at Uvalde?
Yeah, and that's a problem too. But I mean, literally the
all right.
It's kind of like in Soul Calibur. The pages of history.
Yeah.
The stage of history. The stage of history threw itself bare before Scot Peterson. I mean, really, it did. Welcome back to the stage of history.
Right, let's forget Uvalde happened and focus on.
No, I'm just saying, starring Scot Peterson. It's brother, it's your turn. The fates have called you, have called upon you. No, really, it was the fates called upon him.
Literally,
one man.
65 million years in the making. Oh,
yeah, Uvalde. Yeah, it called on all those men, but this one's even worse because it's just you and you alone.
Oh. It seems that Yoda joined us and has fallen asleep next to us here. There's like the Yoda lump.
Yes.
We'll turn the camera on the Yoda lump.
Well, yes, and worse than Uvalde, somebody else points out, Peterson watched Nicholas Cruz walk into the building.
Well, and fuck him for only having one T in the word Scott, in the name Scott. Seriously.
Oh, that too, yes.
That's my middle name, Scott, with 2 T's, because I'm not a fucking monster. Former Broward County. I've 2/3 doxed myself. Former Broward County Sheriff's Deputy Scot Peterson remained outside a 3-story classroom building on Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School during the gunman's 6-minute attack. All right, gotta keep. I just forget Uvalde happened. Forget 77 minutes of fuckery happened. This happened before Uvalde, and that's what we got to focus on. Because I keep defaulting to Uvalde, those fucking assholes. Anyway, opening statements were delivered on the morning of June 7th, and testimony began in the afternoon. A jury of 4 women and 2 men will decide the case. 6-person jury. That's interesting.
Florida does 6-person juries. That's typical for a non-death penalty case. Florida's one of a lot of state. Not every state. A lot of states do 12, but a lot of states do versions of it. 6 is the bare minimum, though.
Yes, 6 is pretty low.
George Zimmerman had a 6-person trial. I mean, like all in Florida, that's all you get. Which is funny because in Ohio, for a misdemeanor, you get 8 people.
The trial could last 2 months.
Yes.
Peterson, 60, is charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect. I like they got him for the child neglect and not dereliction of duty or some shit like that. They just got him for child neglect. And 4 students killed and 3 wounded on the 1200 building's 3rd floor. Peterson arrived at the building with his gun drawn. And Sean, how many people on that campus had a firearm?
1. Well, there were 2 people with guns that day. To be fair, actually,
fuck you, Sean.
Actually, there were 2 guns on campus.
You're not wrong. You're not
technically.
Wrong.
Remember, technically correct is the best kind of correct.
God damn it, Sean. I fucking hate that you're correct on that, but you are.
Well, and I will say, apparently,
okay, how many on the defense, the defenders?
The good guy side? Yes, just 1. Well, here's the thing. I guess since it started yet the 7th was opening arguments. Yesterday was the first day of testimony. One of the students said, like, they were like, where was off? Like, they were like, I was wondering where Officer Peterson was. Yeah. Like, think about how fucking scary that is, knowing, like, there's a dude on your campus with a gun. You're expecting him to come save the day, and you're like, Nicholas Cruz is in there baptizing everybody you know. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, I hope Officer Peterson comes, and he doesn't come. You're like, oh, well, maybe he's dead. And in reality, he's just sitting out there fucking cucking his way to a pension.
Hiding behind a rock.
Like that. Think about how heartbreaking that is. And apparently somebody said that happened yesterday. I mean, I've heard, kids talk about being sexually assaulted, all kinds of things. That I'm sure it was probably that's probably going to be one of the more heartbreaking things. A kid knowing this guy's hoping this person, they'll come save my life, and it never happens.
Well, see, and that's the thing. And this thing we saw with Uvalde, you have a child calling 911 5 times.
Yeah.
Going, where are the police?
Yeah.
My friends and teachers are dying. And fuck off, you fucking cocksuckers. Mm-hmm. And I mean that not in the gay way, just in the you are an evil piece of shit way. Peterson, 60, he said where the fuck are we? Peterson arrived at the building with his gun drawn 73 seconds before the gunman reached that floor. But instead of entering, he backed away as gunfire sounded. He said that he did not know where the shots were coming from.
That's why you go inside and find out.
Probably where you go, oh,
that's when you open the door and go, cold, hotter, colder.
cold, getting warmer. Yeah. Peterson is also charged with 3 counts of misdemeanor culpable negligence for the adults shot on the 3rd floor, including a teacher and an adult student who died. Someone was held back for a year. He also faces a perjury charge for allegedly lying to investigate.
The lesson to you kids. Get your schooling done. Otherwise, you're like a 20-year-old high school student getting killed.
He's like a 5th-year varsity player for the football team. Yeah. He could get nearly a century in prison. He's 60. What the fuck is he going to do for 100 years if convicted on the child neglect counts and lose his $104,000 annual pension?
Yep, that part right there, $104,000.
This is a motherfucking school security guard.
No, he's a regular deputy sheriff.
Yeah, but he was in charge of the school. He was and he gets $100,000 a year for the rest of his life for doing not a
good in Florida.
goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, prosecutors did not charge Peterson in connection with the 11 killed and 13 wounded on the first floor before he arrived at the building. No one was shot on the second floor. Again, life lesson, always be on the second floor. According to the National Association of School Resource Officers, which represents campus police, Peterson is the first U.S. law enforcement officer tried for allegedly failing to act during a school shooting. And I hope there's 400 other motherfuckers from Uvalde that get charged. Because luckily enough, you're in the same fucking state. Texas authorities are investigating the officers who, here we go. This is Florida. Sorry. I'm going rogue here. Uvalde's Texas, and this douche nozzle is Florida.
Yes.
Texas authorities are investigating the officers who didn't.
Two states.
It is, yeah. They're full of fuckers. Confront the Uvalde gunman who killed 19 elementary students and 2 teachers last year, but none have been charged. Peterson has insisted he would have confronted the gunman, but thought the shots came from a sniper, perhaps firing from nearby trees. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool in the motherfucking shed, but I can tell you if a shot is coming from over there or if it's coming from inside a fucking building. It sounds different, people.
Yeah.
And does it really fucking matter? Does it matter?
It would have been so muffled.
Is it coming from the trees or is it coming from the school? If it's coming from the trees, it makes even less sense that you would hide outside behind a fucking rock.
Yeah.
If the sniper is outside, you're going to hide inside. I don't believe that for a goddamn
But
second.
it doesn't matter, though, because he saw him go inside. So he watched him go inside. Like, there's no... Yeah, there ain't no getting around that, Scott. Yes, this statement down here is beautiful.
Yeah, a deputy for 32 years. He had been at Stoneman Douglas for 9 years after 19 years at other schools. This is a school cop who gets $104,000 a year pension. Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
I want the truth to come out. And if it's going to be through a trial, so be it, Peterson said before trial. Not only the people in Florida, the county, most importantly, the families. They need to know the truth about what happened because, unfortunately, it has never been told. Peterson retired shortly thereafter and was fired retroactively.
Yeah, which...
I'm going to regret this, but... I got to go drain the lizard, and I'm turning this show entirely over to you for the next 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Okay, guys.
God help us all.
What you guys do, you guys get some acetone, and you start boiling it down and reducing it. And then in another pot nearby, you take peroxide. Not hydrogen peroxide, but you can use hydrogen peroxide. You're going to boil it. You're going to reduce it down to get some peroxide, okay? And then, you know what we're going to make is called TATP. Try acetone tetraperoxide. Anyways, guys, when you make this, be very careful. This stuff is very sensitive. You can set it off by dropping it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to get some petroleum jelly. You're going to want to mix it in as a stabilizer, kind of like a binder. Keeps it like a little more calm for you. Because otherwise you might like kaboom yourself. No, I wanted to wait because Dirk Diggler is right. Build me the biggest Edward Tower. Build it. Amuse me. Yeah, MG Law, you're right. It's very unstable. Oh, God, I thought that was moving like we were going to see him taking a piss. Uh-oh.
We're still here.
You
That's
scared me. I thought
sign.
when the camera started moving, I'm like, oh, shit, Jeff's taking a piss. We're going to see him take a leak.
Andrew Branca did that on one of my streams. He took his phone with him to the bathroom and forgot to mute it. That was pretty fun. We're still here, so that's a good sign.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm curious. I have to go to the YouTube studio and check on the health of our stream.
I only got into step 2 about making THC. So.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, just as long as you don't. Is the Anarchist Cookbook still a thing in the States?
Yes. Yes, it is, but there's better things out there than that.
Yeah, I mean that will literally kill you. There's a greater chance of you dying from my brother made some shit in there from. I mean, this is like back in the day when it just came out. My brother.
So you go
made
into
some
like
shit from
IRA
that.
or jihadist websites, and you get the actual recipes.
Yeah, my brother tried to make
Traditional Middle Eastern cooking. I'm a fan of.
All right, let's see the health of this stream here. I'm checking the health of our stream. How are we doing?
Demonetized drone strike imminent.
Oh, hey, we're still yellow. We haven't gone full red yet. We're still limited. Let's just request the review now so we can shock the shit out of the person.
The reviews are taking longer and longer in my experience.
They are. I've had some that have been under review for like 10 days.
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, literally everything I do just goes yellow automatically because.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm a fuckwit, but yeah, whatever. So this guy.
Ultimately he's going to have to deal with, God's justice no matter what. And he can say all those things like, the truth will come out. He's got to face the man in the glass every day. And I'm sure I can only imagine one day the lies won't work and the man in the glass is going to be, the man in the glass meets a mirror. If you guys didn't know that, the mirror is going to stare back at you one day and you're going to realize, wow, I'm a piece of shit. Yeah. Because you had a bulletproof vest, you have a gun. You're the only one there with a gun. You're there to protect those people. And I understand you're going to hide behind actually, I don't have to protect nobody. Yeah, great. Live with that. But yeah, those kids were waiting on you.
Right.
And you never showed up.
I mean, that's things like, oh yeah, he's scared. Yeah, he's afraid for his life. But you are fucking, if you don't have that, and I don't, that's why I'm not fucking doing that job. I'm like, fuck
the
that.
Thing is, you're supposed to be scared. It's dangerous. But you signed up to be that guy. You signed up to be that dude. I want the money. I want $100,000 a year pension. Okay, well, here's the trade-off. You may have to go strap up and deal with it.
And the fact that he was the person entrusted to do this. Yeah. He was the one guy that these kids had to look to save their life. I get you're scared, motherfucker, but your job is to take one for the team if it comes down to that. At least make a fucking effort. If not, don't sign up for it. And I remember that was the thing, like the first Gulf War was breaking out just as I was in college, just after high school. And I remember like all these people in ROTC when the units got called up and shit, and they were in the reserves and they get called up and shit, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be a conscientious objector. I joined the military just to get the GI Bill, just to get the free college. I didn't want to go to war. You fucking signed up. Don't pull this conscientious objector bullshit.
You're in college during the Cold War. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
You might go to war with Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy, it's just, he's going to have to deal with himself. And I'm surprised he's still alive. I mean, but hey, all the power to him. I don't know, because I've read the statute. The thing I brought up, I don't know if this is the correct application of the statute. I mean, it's not the whole, people last night were asking me about like Castle Rock and all that. Doesn't matter. That's a civil context. In this criminal context of did he commit felony child negligence? I don't think this is how the statute was ever meant to be implied, which that doesn't mean you can't apply it this way. But is this what it was meant for? And that's something I always talk about. Number one, do we want to do we serve the community by prosecuting this? Okay. Once again, we have to remember this was a very emotional event, serious event. Everybody, if that's the case, we gotta address this with clean tampons in. Like we all gotta put in a clean tampon. We can't be all menstruating and hysterically crying about it. Should we be prosecuting
or hysterically menstruating? One of the two.
Yes. Should we be prosecuting this? Okay, I think there's some benefit here, like that. We're gonna make cops do your fucking job. Like writing tickets ain't the hard part. Like, well, somebody might kill us. It's like, It's kind of like in Heat when Al Pacino says the best, like, I get killed doing this shit. I'm like, you get killed walking your fucking dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it ain't, the guys out in the crab boats don't cry. They just go fucking make money. You know?
Well, here's the deal. And
guys working in
this
a
is
coal
my
mine
stance.
don't cry. They just go make fucking money.
I don't care whether this guy is found guilty or innocent. I don't care how this turns out. I want this fucker to get on the stand and be forced to explain his fucking actions. I want him to be put to the question, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
I want him to
that's gonna be
face
great.
the questions from people.
Oh, yeah. He said to sit in that room and listen to people. Yeah. He needs to be called to the carpet, and, he needs to be held accountable. And, maybe this is what pushes him over the edge. Fingers crossed. But I still waver on this, because is this the proper application of our resources? And I'm kind of torn, because I do think so at the end of the day. Police do this whole, like, my job's to go home at the end of the night. It's like, no, that's not your job. If that's your job, then what good are you?
Yeah.
Like, we've only got one asterisk. It's like, great,
Flux,
so do I.
Go to your room, Flux. We're not talking about that carpet.
Yes.
Flux, go away.
Yeah, and also it's just the idea of like, well, I got to make it home at the end of the night. It's like, motherfucker, what do you think? My goal is to make it home at the end of the night too. Like, I'm no different than you. I just don't get it. You are
different from that person, because you didn't sign up to address this shit. They did.
But my point is, we all want to go home at the end of the night. We all want to go home at the end of the night. It's no different. But when cops are like, well, it's protecting and serve, we just duty society as a whole, then all police are reduced to is a job where you get to dress up in a uniform and open carry a pistol, and that's literally like your group's identity.
Yeah.
And if that's what you guys want to be treated like, fine. But like, let's just acknowledge what you are when you get to that point. Now, and that's a sad thing. It came to this guy, because there's probably a lot of cops in that department who would have just fucking ran in, and cops did. Like, there are cops who ran by Peterson, who showed up after it was going on, just spilled into that building looking to hunt down crews. And then they spilled out in the neighborhoods. No, they were hunting a guy with a rifle out in open ground who hadn't killed himself yet and escaped, which is different than almost all these shootings, because they never escape. So now they're like, oh shit, I got to go hunt a guy who could be hunting me. And those cops still went out and fucking looked for him.
And that is one of the coolest things I've seen.
Beating his dick behind that boulder.
Right. He's beating his dick. The Uvalde people are fucking around using hand sanitizers and sending text messages and jerking off, doing circle jerks and shit in school. This last with the tranny shooter shit that fucking happened. That was awesome. You get the cop that's like, people are like, they're in there, the person's in there, and he said, I need 3 people to go in with me. Gunshots are going. He said, I just need 3 people now. 3 people came to him. 4 people went in that school, swept the school, took the motherfucker out. Boom!
Yeah.
Just
I still like the acre
just
shots.
Laced him
after they dropped Zer,
Zimzer, yeah.
After they made it was were. The one cop leans out of the corners, goes boop boop, and the other cop comes running around the corner with his pistol. He's like, "Stay on the ground!" Boop 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 boop, and he just like acre shots the shit out of him. And I'm like, normally you're not allowed to do acre shots. That's like the one time where you could do it. He just
and see, I mean, that was just awesome. Just to watch one cop on the heels of this fucker and the Uvalde fuckers go, I need 3 guys to go in with me. 3 guys ran to him and they just laced it.
Yes.
That's how you're supposed to do it. They didn't want to. I can't imagine they wanted to, but they fucking
I guarantee you those guys wanted to do it because there were people that needed help. And they knew they weren't like, boy, today's the day.
Yeah.
It's not like someone breaks it. It's like if someone breaks into my house and I get woken up and it's like, I get to look at my pistol. It's like, finally, old friend, we get to do this.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't looking, going like, oh, sweet, this is the day I hopefully die. Someone gets to take a shot at me. They did it because that's the metal. That's the caliber, so to speak, of the people we're dealing.
Those guys were metal as fuck.
Absolutely. And let's get this.
Well, and it was funny because their police commissioner said, "We're not the Uvalde. We're not the Uvalde. Like when people ask him a question about going, he's like, "We're not the Uvalde police. We go take care of business."
Right.
So,
and currently we've been doing this for 2 hours and 4 minutes. I have like another hour. If you got another hour, I got nothing to do. It's midnight my time.
I've been I have another obligation around noon, but I can stand for a little bit longer.
All right, well, we'll just pull the ripcord when you need to go. Until then, I'm good because I've got fuck all to do until you leave. We got currently 622 viewers listening to this bullshit we're spewing. This is awesome. I love you guys. The Vice Squad chat is the best chat. 622 current viewers and 620 likes. That's a fucking awesome ratio. But everybody that hasn't hit that like button, make sure you go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done so, because I would be super honored to have you. We're pushing our way to 37,000. I don't even know what the hell we are currently. Let me consult Mr. Phone. Mr. Phone will tell us where we are currently. I have no idea. We are currently at, drum roll, please. Oh, we actually lost 2 subscribers during this stream, so fuck you guys. 36,637. We are 300 and whatever short of 37,000. If any of you have not hit that, let's get me at least to 36,700. I only need like 63 to get there. And I'm sure 63 of you haven't subscribed. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, just make sure you're still subscribed by glancing down there. And whatever you do, this man right here, potentially criminal Sean, is criminally undersubscribed. This motherfucker needs all 618 of your votes if you haven't done it.
Yeah, that we
over there. The potentially criminal.
Just so I can tell YouTube to fuck off, because like I was doing really good. I got to like 15,988, and it's weird over the past like 3 weeks. It's just like every time I click on, it's like, oh, there's like one or two missing.
No,
And I'm like,
do that.
What? But it's like draining me slowly. I just need to get over 16 so I can be like, fuck you guys. But
they do this. That's the thing. I was caught in this 36,000 subscriber hell for 6 to 8 weeks, where I think they just get like to a certain milestone, and it happened before. You get to this milestone, and YouTube is like, we think you need to go through the struggle. And it was like every day I would wake up, I would gain 20 in the morning, and by nighttime I'd lose 25. And then I'd gain 20 by nighttime, lose 25 by morning. 20 and then lose 25. And it was this way for like 6 to 8 weeks. And then suddenly one day, just like the heavens opened, the shaft of light comes down, Jesus descends from the clouds and says, continue getting
talking about. Like is that a good meaty shaft?
Big shaft, gigantic shaft. It's God's shaft. What do you think it's going to be, like a little peen?
I don't know. But I will say, I think the biggest thing for me, and I don't know if you've noticed this too, but like it's the trial streams that really blow things up.
Yeah.
So I think it's part of my issue. Oh. Ooh, cat almost made an appearance. Sorry. It kind of took the asshole route to get up to its house. So
what are you talking about? The cat?
Yeah, I have a cat. It just like it kind of like ran in between everything. It was like kind of like fuck you. And normally it goes like up behind my desk. And
Chandler Remington in the house says Jeff will be on Laid Back News in an hour with me, Joe Hayden, and Southern Law, and Eric. Yep, yes, I will.
Oh.
Because I'm still stuck in that. I got to stream every fucking minute of my life. Every time someone asks me to be on their stream, I have to. Because
that's actually where I was going. Is at noon? Is with Eric?
Oh yeah.
So.
We'll see you there. We'll see you there, Sean.
Yeah, but I need some time to kind of get things sorted out.
Okay, so we'll end this at 15. Is 15 minutes before the hour enough time for you to sort things out, or what?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So after this, go over to Eric Hunley's channel, and you'll see Sean, me, and everybody else over there.
He asked me to put together. He asked me to find a picture, and I'm trying to find one that's not obnoxious.
Oh, a picture of you?
Yeah, because like I need a picture of me, and it's like I've got all my ones that like I've done over the past, and it's like, the one with like the, there's drawings of me, and then I got the one with like the Please Be Patient. I have autism hat on, and then the ones where the people real Jack Murphy.
Well, I like the AI thing that the like because like AI does not do because you have that awesome like black beard and the black mustache and the white beard. That is like seriously awesome. And I was that way for a while too, where it was like I had like the nice like dark blonde sort of ginger mustache and the white beard, and then it just kind of went to fucking hell.
Well,
AI didn't develop that well at all.
What I was gonna say is if I can finally get the full white when I go to get my hair done, get my hair did. I can do it if I get it done though. When she gets done with my hair and cuts it, I look like fucking Marco Ramius every time I leave the salon. So it's like it's so awesome. But usually it kind of falls apart because my hair just goes back to this. But yeah,
when did you start going gray?
I was 14.
Because I started going gray in 8th grade, so about the same time, I guess.
Yeah, and it was
it started right behind this ear.
Yeah, but you had it easy. I had like my hair was like shoe polish black.
Oh.
It was that when I was a little kid, the women were like, "Oh my God, your hair is so cute." They love it, and yeah, like it's just like one little white hair pops up. People like, just boom, it just stands out. And I was at I was at a football camp when I was in I was a sophomore? Yeah. Hold on, what year was it? No, it was my junior year of high school, I think. Went to Mount Union, Ohio, Alliance, Ohio, where Mount Union is. At the time, they were like one of the best D2 football schools around. They had won like 15 years in a row the national championship. So we were there learning stuff, and and I was there doing the lineman things because, believe it or not, I wasn't like I wasn't a wide receiver, surprisingly.
I'm a wide receiver.
Yes, I wasn't a loose end. Yeah. Although in reality, when I played, when
the tight ends that I like.
When it became time to play football, I played end tackle and guard. I sat on the end of the bench and guarded the water and tackled.
I never played football because I have a low pain threshold. I didn't want people jumping on me. I joined the chess club and the drama team, and I
just wasn't good, so it didn't matter.
I've given birth to he's a disappointment. I was always because like my fucking father. In university, he was the captain of the basketball team, the football team, and the track team in the same fucking year. And I'm like, I don't want to get hit. I'll play chess and be in the drama club. And he was like, "You're just the gay son."
So were you there in Utah with your like pulled up turtleneck and your beret on, just like today I feel melancholy?
Pretty much.
I don't know drama club, but no, we're sitting there.
Football.
So we got done. We got done with whatever we were doing for the lineman things, and these guys, they're college kids, so we're asking them questions and talking with them and joking around. And all of a sudden, one of them, he's like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Dude, you got gray hair." He's like, "Do you know that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know that. Thanks. I wasn't aware." And he's like, he looks over his buddy. He's like, "Bro," he's like, I forget his name. He's like, "Bro, check this out." It's like, whoa. And like one of their buddies is walking across the field like 30, 40 yards away. And I don't know what his nickname was, but he's like, "Hey, yo." And I was like, I forget what his nickname was. He's like, "Yo, come here, man." And like that's another dude on the football team was running over. This college kid comes running over, and the guy's like, "Yo, man, check this out." And it's like, "Holy shit, you got gray hair." And I'm like,
"Oh no."
I'm like, "Thanks."
Oh Jesus!
The problem,
but you were aware of this.
Oh yeah. Well, it was really bad for me for a long time because it would come in little at a time. So like individual hairs would stand out, and eventually I started
the skunk stripe over this.
Oh,
ear,
I started. Well, I had like a patch right here that was kind of subdued, so it wasn't too bad. But it took me until I was about 32 or so. About 5-6 years ago before it really became good because there was still a lot of black, and where the black and the gray kind of clashed, it just looked shitty. So it's taken a long time to get to this point where it's all over.
Well, see, that's
taken
the
a long
problem.
time.
It's like that used to be my thing. It's like, oh, there's just a little stripe here. There's just a little coloring in the beard. But now that I'm like 53, I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to fucking look like this.
Yeah. Well, for the longest time, I could like buzz down the sides really low, and like you couldn't tell. And the top was still black, so it was okay.
That's why this happens. This is a lifestyle. I'm like a fucking hippie. Look at that. I need to cut this shit.
Oh,
But
see,
yeah, that's why I shave this. Like,
that's the advantage. Though. I get to keep my hair.
yeah,
My hair's not going anywhere, according to family tradition.
yeah, that's good.
So,
well, like I said, this is just a choice. But I remember I had it shaved for like 15 years, and then I decided to grow it back a little bit just to see what it looked like. And I'm like, oh, there's a lot less of it, and it's all gray now. Fuck. I guess I'm just old, and then I had to deal with it. Well, while we've got like 30 minutes left here, let's get through these super chats, and then let's talk about some badass bitches. Nicholas Starov Trial Lodge. He had 100,000 a year reasons to not enter that building. Yeah, he had 100,000 reasons not to enter that building.
yes,
Fucker.
yes, yeah,
yeah.
Once again, he's gonna, the man in the glass. He's always there.
Yep. Hanging Peterson and the 376 cops from Uvalde in public to send a direct message, and maybe cops will finally do their jobs. It's called motivation. Go ahead. Yeah. Watermelon with a $10 super chat. Mixing gasoline with styrofoam makes the best pancake batter.
It does.
Now I'm curious. Because see, I was the curious fucker when I was a kid, and I learned a valuable lesson one day. I thought, okay, ammonia cleans things really well.
Oh no.
Clorox cleans things really well. So my dad told me to clean the garage. So I bet if I just like mixed a bunch of ammonia with a bunch of Clorox, it'll really clean things. That's when I learned about chlorine gas. That was a bad day in my life.
Oh, I bet. Jeez.
I narrowly avoided a serious hospital death. I didn't have to go to the hospital, but I did learn about chlorine gas. It's called it's not called chlorine gas. It's chloro something gas, but I learned about it that day. Yeah. Do not mix out ammonia and chlorine. It releases all kinds of like mustard gas level shit. Yes. Yeah, I know, Tweety. I learned that the hard way. Don't mix brake fluid and chlorine pool tablets. Okay.
Yes, true as well.
Oh God. Fair Frozen Jeff, you are not wrong. It's just that mixes to clean other things like trenches. That's the chat of the day right there. It cleans trenches. Yeah, no, was like, I mean, I got out with I couldn't breathe. My eyes were on fire. And I mean, just like it just felt like someone was sticking a butane torch up my nose. And I got out of the garage and just laid on the driveway for like an hour.
Oh,
that was just the worst. That's why I learned I could have died. So yay me, I'm still here. I was just a fucking idiot kid. What do you know? Somebody didn't tell me not to do it. So of course I'm going to do it. You need to update the vice racks of the day. No, I don't. I forgot to update the actual amount. Right. Sorry. Let's update the amount. Sorry. Yeah, it's the $100. I don't know. Do you want to give $101 to update your name? All right. All right, there we go. There, it's updated now. Boop. The $100 from Jeff's First Beer, aka the Brandon Collective. All righty, let's get back to the super chat from Korea. Watermelon. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I remember this happened.
What does this do? What is gasoline and styrofoam?
That makes napalm.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
It like gels up or what?
Yeah, it melts. It turns into jelly. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of like rudimentary napalm. Yeah. Yeah, during Vietnam, they called it fugazi. They'd take like these 55-gallon drums of all this stuff.
It's a fugazi.
No, it was like French. They'd have it. It was jet fuel, gasoline. They take C4 and render it down, all that kind of stuff. And they would just when Charlie showed up, they tip it down the hillside at him, and they would just burn and burn and burn.
Yeah,
yeah.
Napalm is some seriously bad shit.
Napalm was good. Sticks to kids. there used to be like a running chant. There used to be like a running cadence for the military.
Kind of like that running girl.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a running cadence though. Like when they were running, it was a Cold War cadence. It was like napalm sticks to kids.
And this is why he has 16,000 subscribers.
But
and
no,
when
I was
16,000 by the time I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, when I was a kid, a couple like the bigger town north of us, some kids at one of the Catholic schools. It was kind of like I kind of always thought these kids were kind of like aloof, but like, instead of like before 9/11, before the Patriot Act, which really kind of put a damper on my formative years, you could get fertilizer and set it off because you could go buy it. You could also watch Con Air and try to do that whole thing with the propane tanks and set them off and like shoot at them, and you're like, oh, that doesn't work like the movie. But these kids, they wanted to make pipe bombs, so they got a piece of copper pipe and some black powder. Okay, and they took a hammer and they took one of the pipe and they hammered it flat, and then they folded it over and they filled it up with gunpowder. Then they took it and hammered the other end flat, and as they folded it over, it generated enough static that I think like one of them only had a thumb left, and the other one had like two, like had these guys left on his other hand.
Being like Thomas Covenant, the unbeliever.
Yeah.
Hands off,
like Johnny Tremaine on steroids.
AT1 CBV41, worse than Uvalde. He was on scene. Yeah.
Oh, also vodka blood. You guys are just noticing. Yes. What is an apprentice Sibian mechanic? Well, if you don't know what a Sibian is, you should Google it.
We'll just leave that right there. Walter Miller, $10. Mixing gasoline and styro makes
never nothing wrong with picking up a trade.
It's a fair trade. Fair Frozen 55. If you're going to be a conscientious objector, be one like Paul Kersey. You believe in Jesus? Well, you're gonna meet him. Beretta 84 shots. There you go. Flux just said ha 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 ha, talking about the carpet comment. Hunter Brooks, if found not guilty, there's still a good chance he paints a ceiling a la Kurt Cobain. Well, I mean, Kurt Cobain was just a pussy. This guy's a fucker. That's different. Richard Gruber, and I'll never not say Richard Gruber, there will be no three. In the summer of 92, Kevin Nash was S8 by a group of guys. Really? Sucks to be Kevin, or Kevin Nash might suck. I don't know. It sucks to either sucks to be him or anyway. Bass, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Sean is the best. Thanks for giving that poll option. Sean's poll is the best poll here.
Hey.
Definitely latch on to Sean's poll.
Hey, that's fine. More the merrier.
Flux, this is a fantastic stream. Well, I'm glad you approve, Flux, because everything I do is to satisfy. Flux. And this is Flux, who this morning on her very own stream said she wanted to sit on my stomach and clean me off. Which isn't bad for a lesbian saying that about me.
I was about to say, yeah, wait, isn't Flux?
Yep. That's what she said on her stream. She wanted to be the I'm the shark. I'm the big shark in the water. She wanted to be like the little lamprey that attaches. She wants to sit on my stomach.
Remora.
And clean me off. Yeah, the remora. That's what she wanted to be. And Rosca said, Sean, the napalm cadence and the little yellow bird were my favorites in the USMC. Alrighty. Vodka blood. Love that Sean doesn't push it to the limit. Just sort of goes right over the limit, right? And Cole Roberts, like all joking and all serious shit, out of the way here. Kim Fuck, I met her. I could feel the scars on her back when I hugged her. Yeah, she went through some serious shit.
Yes, there's an actual person. Yeah, if you guys see that picture of the little girl running who's lit on fire,
running naked with
survived.
the napalm on her back. Yeah. And she's a huge human rights advocate and things. Like all joking aside, she saw some like shit. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than what she went through, and that would be an experience to meet her. Like seriously, no, all joking aside.
Yes.
Unlike, Anne Frank, who just couldn't keep her mouth shut. Yeah.
Hey, she was doing pretty good at hide and seek for a while.
Yeah, she was, but ultimately, Flux, that was the best. Oh, Flux says, Jeff, you're the big shark. I'm just a little fish. But yeah, you can sit on my stomach and clean me off anytime. What the hell is wrong with me? Right. Now I don't know what to do. Okay, well, what we've got coming up here. God, we're down to like the last 15, 19 minutes. Starting in July, mid-July, I believe it's July. Fuck, I can't remember the date. Is the Taylor Schabusiness trial starts. Taylor Schabusiness is my girl.
Yeah.
And like my complaint about Nick covering trials is Nick can fucking tie his shoes and get 13,000 followers. She can get 13,000 viewers tying his fucking shoes. And so if he streams a trial, we literally have no chance of getting any viewers. Yeah. But I'm going with Taylor. She's my girl. I've been following her from day one, from the day that she cut her boyfriend to pieces and pleasured herself with his cock for 3 hours after he was dead. I've been
much respect for her.
And that's where and now Sean is so OG with the Sarah Boone trial, the suitcase murderess.
Yeah.
Did you get your luggage tag thing figured out yet?
I might have that fixed.
Sean wanted luggage tags for the Sarah Boone trial.
Well, yeah, because for the grounds we had the Brooks Coffee Company, and like I was trying to come up with like the most macabre like things for each trial I try to cover. But yeah, Taylor Schabusiness, like I thought it was so funny when she tried to attack her attorney. She's like, and like
it was like, and he's like,
I'm crazy. It's like,
yeah. And then like 2 minutes later, she's like, yeah, I'm good.
Oh, the doggy woke up. Aw.
What's up, Yoda?
Hi, puppers. Hi,
What's up,
puppers.
Yoda? Yoda was nutritionally deprived as a young puppy, so he's not the brightest tool in the shed to mix metaphors. Yeah, I mean, like Taylor Schabusiness, and I like the judge. The judge is like, we're done fucking around. We've had 4 mental evaluations. That attacking your lawyer was bullshit. We're still sticking to trial. I believe it's January 20th or July 20th or 24th, whatever the Monday is of that week, is when it's going to go to trial. Scheduled for 2 weeks. That is my ride or die trial. I've been waiting for this shit from day fucking one. And it is like literally the most horrific criminal complaint I've ever read in my life. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, that was my first real red flag. I read the criminal complaint on stream, and I was in the red well before I got to the end of just reading a police document.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I was it's an interesting one, and I think Sarah Boone's I know we need to get to that one real quick. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go. I know Peter Tragos, the lawyer, because he's down that way too, is dealing with it. At first, like the first times I saw those letters, because I'm not gonna lie, I've had that happen before where like your client's like, oh my god, my attorney's never seen me, and oh my god, it's like horrible. And you like every time those letters happen, I panic because it's like, bro, I've seen you, and I can document and judges are always like, okay, yeah, great. He hasn't seen you as much as you wanted, but he is.
Well, this is number 6 or 7 for.
Well, yeah, but these letters where this guy, it's like the phone numbers don't work, and like he sees me only like once or twice.
Because you're a crazy bitch. He doesn't want to fuck around with you.
I think there's part of that, but I also think this guy, I think this dude is like, I don't think he's lazy. I just think this dude's got too much on his plate.
Public defenders are fucking busy. They're busy.
Yeah. But I have a problem with this where it's like nobody can get a hold of him, and like nothing's like that's a big red flag for me. It's one thing when I've had clients who are like, well, I want to see you all the time. It's like, okay, well, that ain't working because I can't come to see you every day.
Yeah, how do you deal with that? I mean, you are a defense lawyer, so how do you deal with that? With like I'm the most important case in your life, and you have to see.
So, what'll happen is, especially if they're in jail, they'll go boop 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 boop. You have a click call from Jeff, an inmate at the Dildo County Justice Center, And it's like, I don't take those calls because they cost money. And I'm like, I tell them, if you reach out to me, I will try to see you within, if that day or the next day, maybe 2 days, depending on my schedule. But I always try to see you as quick as I can. But what happens is you'll be like, oh, okay, well, they're not here. So you go like, boop. And what they'll do is they'll go, do. You have a click call from Jeff. And you're like, okay, well, I can't take it. Do. And they'll blow up your voicemail with that. And you eventually have to call them and sit down like, look, I will come see you. Don't fucking do that again.
Well, it's like that 3-second gap. It's like, you have a click call from, see me, I need you, come and help me, click.
Yeah. Well, they don't, but most people, they don't. Most of my clients, they just like, when they're setting it up, it's like how they know their family. So it's like, you have a click call from Boo Boo Bear, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. So like, I have to ask him, like, are you Boo Boo Bear? And I'm like, are you like, you have a mess from Slim? It's like, I don't know who this is. But no, you try to explain to them, like, you can't do this. I will see you when I see you. Like, if we're getting ready for something, I will see you more. And then, this is where I also have clients when they get in custody because they screw up. It's like, that's why I told you to stay on the outside. We could meet in my office. We could meet probably a couple times a week. I can't come down to the jail every day. So you just, it's just dealing with people and managing expectations. And sure, is Sarah Boone very high maintenance? No doubt. But like I said, I have big concerns when like her outside people are contacting him and they can't get through and they're not getting responded to. That's a big red flag for me, because when everybody's trying, the phone numbers don't work. Like that one alone there. I'm surprised the judge is like, hey man, hey Fred Bakewitz, fuck's wrong with your phone numbers, bro? Like, is there a phone? Like, I would have said, okay, what if I wanted to call you right now, what phone number would I use? And I'd be like, that phone number better work for her. Because like I said, I have some questions about that. I mean, like, is she toast? Sure. Do I think the battered spouse thing is going to work? No.
But see, that's why I think it's going to be delayed, because there's not a single battered spouse expert in the entire fucking state that wants to talk to her.
Yeah, and that's the problem is, though, that's where it turns into an issue of, that this whole true crime nonsense where these experts are worried about getting run out of town by popular opinion, I think really hurts her, because she's entitled to have an expert talk to her. But if society's going to bully these people out, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, and she just sends these lengthy handwritten notes to people,
which I will give
to the
her credit.
judge. Yeah,
she has beautiful penmanship.
She does. Well, she has high school girl penmanship.
No,
with like the hearts for the dots over the eyes and shit like that.
And I will give her credit, especially if she's using the floppy prison pens that are like the little. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
They're like IKEA pencils, like these little tiny micro things. That you
no! Imagine it's like basically your ink tube, but it's all soft and floppy, so you can't like hold it. Like you basically have to.
Soft and floppy can't hold it. Yeah, some weirdly I can imagine that. Okay,
a little bit right here is one of those floppy pens. You basically have to hold it like this.
Yeah,
tip sticking out. You have to hold it surrounded by your hand, and you have to write with it. So, yeah, but she writes really good.
We'll give her that. All right, fair enough.
I can't wait. I think it's gonna be an interesting trial. So,
well, it will be. And I, to this day, like I said, the weirdest, most horrific criminal complaint I've ever read was the Taylor Schabusiness criminal complaint.
Yeah,
where she's just talking about choking him out, going, "Have you ever loved someone so much to kill it? You wanted to kill it." I was just choking him out, so I didn't know what to, and then like she cuts off his cock and his head and leaves like both heads in a bucket at the bottom of the stairs for the mother to find. And the cops show up, she's covered with dried blood. And do you know why we're here? Probably about the arrest warrant. And then she corrects them on the things they get wrong during the interview. That was horrific.
Oh,
but like that video of Sarah Boone's boyfriend in the luggage going,
"Call me!" Yeah,
and it was straight out of some like evil level horrific horror
That's what you
movie
get.
shit.
Yeah,
at the end, like that video of her, like at the end when she's just like, "Shh," that was fucking evil.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I started talking about Sarah Boone because one of my people turned me on to it, and I remember during the Johnny Depp thing. It's like, what are you covering? I'm like, I'm covering this really crazy thing happening out in Florida. And everybody else in the panels were like, oh my God, that's so horrible. And I'm like, this is fucking gnarly. This is pretty metal.
Right?
Like, this is pretty dope. And I'm like, and now people like everybody's starting to come around to it. It's like, okay, this is pretty interesting. But at first, everybody's like, oh my God, that's so horrible. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's like she cut his head off. He just suffocated.
Yeah. Taylor Schabusiness cut both heads off and
Yeah.
left a leg or two. But yeah,
So
like,
did she eat like did she like cannibal like part of his
dude,
dick? or no?
if she tasted some of that, that would be the least horrible thing.
I know, but it's like there was this guy in Germany. He wanted to die, so he paid another guy to kill him. And part of it was like
they did that in the States too. It was like you cut off their cock and like fry it up and feed it.
They ate it to each other. And so I was like, I'm like, did Taylor do that? It's like
Eric Folmes.
What's in
the bucket?
What's in
What's
the
in the bucket? Oh, see now, people, you just can't throw those things out because you know how I get. You can't do that.
Put the gun down.
saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's
gun.
in the fucking box?
Give me the gun.
You can't just throw that out and not expect me to do that.
Yes.
It's one of the greatest things in cinema history. What's in the fucking box? But yeah, but like seriously, like the Schabusiness thing, that just reads like a nightmare story. You just read, but that video, why the fuck would you record yourself? Put it, I mean, like in this situation with him going,
wait, she recorded herself? Oh, I thought you were talking about Taylor.
No,
I'm like, wow, that's even
she's
better.
bad. Yeah, she's bad, but Sarah recording herself. Like at the end of that video where she's like, how's that fucking feel? That's what it fucking feels like. And then at the end when she just goes like, shh. That's Silence of the Lambs level shit there. Just that shh at the end. That was like the most evil fucking goosebump thing I've ever heard on recorded video. And what's your theory? How drunk do you have to be for your abusive girlfriend to convince you to get in a fucking suitcase?
I don't know. But from what I understand, he was a fairly similar build to her. So I don't know. Maybe it was a kink or something. I don't know. Maybe he's just a complete idiot.
Could be, but I mean, what? Like, at what point in your drunkenness? I have been so fucking drunk that, like, on the stream that I had to take down from my own fucking Friday last month, and somehow it seemed apparently I joined Nick's stream after that, and it was like, oh, expose the nips, and I'm like rubbing the nips on stream and whatnot. I've still never got like, yeah, okay, I'll get in a suitcase and you can push me down some stairs level drunk. I don't know. Get it. But I love the fact she calls her ex-husband to come over and save the day, and he's like,
I can't do anything about this.
He's like, bitch has got issues. Don't bring me into this shit. Yeah, she's got problems. I love him. He's like, what do you want me to say? She's nuts.
Yeah,
she's got problems. I think that's going to be delayed, but Schabusiness is scheduled for like the third week in July, whatever that Monday is, and it's supposed to. See, I've got to go to this anime Matsuri shit, just because I want to hang out with people for the first time ever.
Sure.
And that starts June 10th, so it should finish right about the time I have to leave to go to the States.
Yeah.
And you leave hot, humid fucking Korea to go to Houston and Utah in August. That's like out of the frying pan into the fucking furnace of hell, into the secondary level furnace of hell in Utah. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun summer, but you should come down and hang out. But,
yeah,
you're like a responsible adult though.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I'd show up to like, I'd kind of be there and be like, yeah, cool, cartoons, and I
don't give
Japanese.
Fuck about anime. I don't give a shit about anime. I'm just going to hang out with people to like meet.
I know, but
meet
here's
the people I've been hanging out with. Here's part of the
problem though. Like, if I were to go down there and I text you, I'm like, hey, I'm here. Look for the fat, sweaty guy.
Well, that narrows.
I'll be like, no. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be like, no, not that one. The fat, sweaty guy with a beard who's breathing heavy. No, not that one. Exactly. So I would never find you guys. So like, you guys would probably pick up the wrong person, and there'd be an imposter running around with me.
That'd be like me. I'm like, wait, I'm looking for myself. What's this?
Yeah.
But you do look like you've slimmed out in the face a bit recently.
A little.
Oh, good, great.
It's still like the Family Guy. It's like people are like, how much do you weigh? I'm like, a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
More than you think, motherfucker.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I am. But she's like this girl I'm seeing now. She's like a Russian fitness model that competed in Miss Olympia Korea. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but I'm going with it as long as possible.
Was she like? Can she confirm that in Rocky IV, like everybody's taking steroids? Did she call you Jeffrey? I must make Cardinal to you. The most premium of Cardinal.
Die.
Yes. Jeffrey. Does she call you Jeff or Jeffrey?
Jeff.
Jeff, my little honey bunny. If you scream, it'll only make it harder for you. Just accept it, my little honey bun.
Yeah, I don't know what shit that's all about, but I'm not arguing. I'm not going to argue.
She's the most premium woman.
Your name's Xenia Onatop.
Is Xenia Onatop? Yeah. Sorry, my Russian fake Russian thing is as good as it used to be, but I could do.
No, like the vast majority of my friends are like from that region, like
yes,
Kyrgyzstan, from Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Ukraine, kind of like the vast majority. Because, like, seriously, all joking aside, those fuckers know how to party, and they're just they never come to your house. You just don't bring a fucking thing to my house. It's like, but should I bring a bottle of whiskey? I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Do you need limes? I'm like, bitch, please. Well, should I bring some lemons? Don't fucking bring a thing to my house. I have more than you. I have more than any bar but they still come bringing like bottles of whiskey, lime.
Yeah, that's good. They're very hospitable.
Yeah, never come empty-handed. They just love to just listen to music, have fun, party, smoke cigars. And like one of my friends, he's like a ridiculous fucking hookah master.
Yeah,
he just puts together these ridiculous hookahs, and they're just the most amazing people.
Since your lady friend is like a fitness person, can you just like, do you buy her Adidas? And she's like, oh, Jeff, you thought of me. Nothing but the three-stripe life for you now, baby.
No lie, she sent me a picture earlier today of her wearing this Adidas tracksuit, and I just sent her back like just a bunch of ha 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 emojis. So you really are Russian, aren't you? she didn't understand, and I had to explain it to her.
Oh, she didn't get the. She doesn't get that. She doesn't get the theme.
She's just like wearing like the blue with the white stripes. That's the fucking funniest thing ever. I was in tears when she sent that thing.
Oh. Hold on, you'll get a kick out of this. There is. They sell
What?
Hold on here. This is so funny. They call it a Gopnik suit. You can show this is safe for everybody. I just sent it to you.
We'll see if it's safe for everybody.
Oh, it's okay. It's safe.
Oh, God. I'm scared.
No, it's fine.
All right, loading. Tactical sportswear GOP.
Yeah. They sell Russian camo. They sell Russian camo with the Adidas stripes on them.
Hang on. Where are we at?
Can you not see it? It's like right there. Yeah.
That's funny.
They sell
excellent union of tactic and spirit. That's good.
Yes. I just think it's so funny when they sell that stuff.
That's good.
But
that's actually really
funny. But Adidas, and I guess if people here don't get it, Adidas was like that was the sign of affluence back in the 70s and in the 80s in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, like, the ultimate sign of a Russian,
bigger than Levi.
Like, an Adidas tracksuit with a gold chain and a
it was
white
bigger than it was. Those were more sought after than Levi's or Oshkosh B'gosh or any other. Yeah, that was the premium. That was the premium style status symbol. So Adidas have like a cultural thing for them. So that's why like you see pictures of like into the Chechen wars, Russian soldiers wearing like Adidas shoes, like along with their like in the middle of combat. And like it was a big thing for them.
Oh, that's funny. Oshkosh, gosh. It's like,
Yeah, I get.
I can just see like the
Like,
Soviet
that's like little
military
kids.
armed like Oshkosh, like Buster Brown, you know.
Yeah, yeah. They're wearing coveralls for the first time. No, I
Oh,
forgot. That's more like a
okay.
kid's. That's a kid's style. Because I remember that.
Oshkosh Bagosh has nothing to do with anyone over 7 years old, of course.
No, that's why I could. Um, yeah, I wore Janko. I did wear Janko jeans. Hell yeah, I did. I did not wear Airwalks.
I sent you to Twitter the picture that she sent me today that was just made me laugh my ass
Let
off.
me see.
Just check Twitter. I can't.
I was
pull it
about
up.
to say, oh wow, that's a vagina. Oh, wrong inbox. Oh,
It was just so stereotypical.
yes, it is. Is she?
Oh.
Where is she? Is she like Tajik or something?
From Sakhalin, she's like Korean Russian.
Oh, okay.
Because
from the far edge of the world.
Yeah, the North Koreans sent a bunch of Koreans to Sakhalin and Vladivostok during before the Korean War to work in the forestry, nursing, and fishery industries. But we've got like 15 minutes here before the Eric Hundley thing starts up, so it's probably time we need to shut this down so we can all go get ready for round 2 over on Eric Hundley. I know I promised Uncivil Law Kurt that we would dump into him, but fuck it. We're all going over to the same place, so we may as well just drag you all along with us. Oh my God, Sean, we didn't get to anything that I wanted to talk about, but this is so
we can do it another day.
I love talking to you, man. It's you were just like absolutely one of my fave people because you're like low key. I don't like the people that just always say things hoping that something they say will end up being funny.
No,
you're kind of like me where you just choose your shots. You just sit there quietly for a while and then you just like click.
Yeah.
And you drop the heat.
To be fair though, there's a lot of times I'm kind of like all gas, no brakes. And then there's just, I'm doing good today, but there's going to be a lot of days. There's times where I'm just like, well, either I'm going to do really good or just going to be me going this boo. Trying to make a joke.
Well, in the next minute or 30 seconds to a minute while I'm like taking a major leak, I'm going to turn this over to you again, and hopefully it will still be here by the time I get back.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Tell us who you are, what you are, and where to find you.
Yeah. All right, guys. My name's Sean. I run a channel, Potentially Criminal. You can find me on YouTube, Rubble, BitChute, Odyssey. I'm on all the places you can't get rid of me. I'm also at Locals at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. I do a show every Thursday night at 9:30, so you just missed it. I'm trying to talk about things going on the past week. Usually it's a very fun time. And then usually right after that show, I do a local stream where we hang out and talk and get to just have a little more fun, let our hair down. And then on Locals every Monday, I do about hour and a half long show, usually about 8:30. We go on and we talk about what's going on. And then, try to put out videos in between then. Just been a little busy because I am a practicing attorney. So this is kind of like the side gig, trying to make this a full-time gig at some point in the future. But for now, just working stuff in when I can. I do trial streams. I know people are like, it's been like 6 months, but it's just how things have worked out. Trying to do one coming up in the future. And, Jeff's doing something to the dog. Always getting the peanut butter out. A1 no,
Mr. Monkey.
So, no, AT1 no. For my Monday things on Locals, it's everything is Eastern Standard Time. God's time zone, the best time zone. Everything's Eastern Standard Time, so 8 to 8:30 on Monday nights Eastern Standard Time, and then on Thursday nights when I do my stream on YouTube, it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So.
Have you already done what's coming up in the near future? Or?
There's a bunch of little videos I'm trying to put out, but the near future for me is not really too sure right this second. I mean, Sarah Boone's the big thing coming up, but no, I just got a bunch of videos that I had been working on that never got finished. I need to churn those out. So that's it for me right now. That's what I got to do.
Oh, let me see. What have I got coming up? 15 minutes from now, we'll be over on Laid Back News. Both of us will be over on Laid Back News with Eric Hundley. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, I've got a private Georgian wine tasting with this guy here who lives in Korea, owns a vineyard in Georgia that makes some of those amazing wines. And then weirdly, after I finish that private wine tasting, it's the New Zealand Wine Festival here in Korea. So it's like an all you can drink New Zealand wine so it's like fucking wine from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Can they pronounce Zealand in Korean? Can the Koreans say that word?
Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand would be how they would pronounce it. New Zealand. So that'll be my Friday. After that, I'm going to go probably get, like, if I'm not already drunk by drinking wine for 12 hours, I'll get fucked up with some friends that own a restaurant. Sunday morning, my time, which will be Saturday evening, U.S. time, Flux and I will be doing an Unexplained where we'll be addressing the new whistleblower that has said that we have partial and fully intact UFO alien particles, ships, partial and full alien ships. That whistleblower will be talking about him and other UFO related unexplained items, because why the fuck not? And whatever else happens over the weekend. Then Sunday, we will start this new trial in some form or another of Melly, and we'll see how that goes.
Of the youngest of the young world.
Yes. Because who better to comment on young urban black rap music than a fucking old fat white Korean American dude living across the world? I'm fully qualified to talk about this.
Yes. But remember, just so you guys didn't get confused, it's young nigga world. So you aren't confusing that with the old nigga world, because I know there's that confusion there.
It's like the Moors and
the Moops.
It's like Othello. He's dead, Jim. Oh, hey, wait a minute. My brain is slowed. I have a thing for that. Wait.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim. So that's a video we need. Jeff walking up to random Koreans, getting them to pronounce words. Roller Coaster and Wells Fargo are two of my favorites. If you ever just want to laugh, go to like a truly Asian person, ask them to pronounce Roller Coaster and Wells Fargo. It's endless hours of entertainment.
I want to hear him in karaoke sing Roller Coaster of Love.
Yeah. Well, there actually is a Korean song called Roller Coaster, which is funny. Roller Coaster. Ah. Anyway, Bass, Sean, Macabre, never. Legendary Racing bringing the heat with the $5 super chat. Sean, figure out the luggage tax. I need it for Disney World in September.
We might have them figured out. I've been working on it.
I seriously want a fucking Sarah Boone luggage tag. Figure that shit out now. The world will be a better place. Sean, spattered blouse, spattered something. Bass, boos. You're muted. What the hell have you done? You've muted yourself.
Okay. So no, we were talking about Sarah Boone when the battered spouse thing came up, and I was having my brain wasn't working too well that day, so I started talking about battered spouses and splatter.
So it became battered bouse. Okay.
Well, yeah. There's like there's splattered bouse. There's there was a bunch of them. So yeah.
All right, works. Frostbit with a $2 super chat to wrap up the evening. Holy shit, we've only got 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
Frostbit. I kind of want a pair of multicam coveralls now. Get them. Get that bitch. Hey, everybody. This has been a wild 3 hours. I told him 2 hours. We went 3. I love streaming with Sean. He's one of my absolute most favorite people on YouTube. He's like my spirit animal. It's like when I achieve my final form, I want it to be Sean. I want to be like Sean needs to be my final form. Mods, thank you so much. Excuse me while I pick up the bottle of liquor. Sean is awesome. Thank you, mods, for being so super moddy. You're the best mods ever. Chat, you are the best chat ever. We still have 560 people that haven't. Well, now 496 people. We just lost 70 people like that. For you guys are awesome. The like and subscribe poll ended up with 9% of you saying, of course you hit like and subscribe. You came for the spice. 13% of you said yes, but I just came. 25% of you said, yep, potentially criminal is the best. And 54% of you said, of course, I came to smash. That's the end of that stupid poll for the day. We'll do another poll on Monday when we come back because, hey, if Sean's poll isn't the best, it's got to be Legal Vice's poll. All righty. Thank you, chat. You guys have been awesome. Funny as hell to read. The Vice Squad chat is the best chat. There is no better chat than the Vice Squad chat. Thank you so much for your generosity you've shown with the super chats throughout the evening. Well, we have to have Sean back on because we literally didn't talk about anything I wanted to talk about. We wanted to bring the heat, and we ended up talking about like wrestling and other shit, which was awesome. Sean, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you giving your time, your mornings, and whatnot. Oh. Everybody go to Potentially Criminal. It's Potentially Criminal that he only has a few. Just get him to 20,000 subscribers right now. I don't care how the fuck you do it. Just do it. Just shut the fuck up and do it.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Where's the missing fertilizer?
Shh, bro.
Shh. Yeah.
Lower your fucking voice.
First rule of missing some fertilizers: don't talk about missing fertilizer. All right, everybody, we're going to dump over to Laid Back News, which is going to start in 5 minutes. I know I told Kurt that we'd dump into him, but fuck it. We're all going to the same place, so sorry, Kurt. We'll do it next time. I promise. My bad. Thank you for the $5, Kurt. Bye. Everybody, enjoy your legal vices. Lorax out. Sean, anything to say on the way out?
Nope, just don't talk to the cops.
Good enough. Bye.